inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's preventing, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's preventing, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside,
Hey, I see you, Elder Ajayi-Daniels. Good evening.
alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Good evening, sir. I hope you are good.
Love is light that's preventing, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light,
Good evening,
let
sir.
the
I hope you are good. Thank you for the heart to me. 8:13. Good evening.
Oh, inside,
Ade, I see you. Moy, I see you. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you, 8:13 already.
feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Thank you so much, 8:13. Thank you. Let's share this live. Please help share this live to your friends, to your followers. Let them be part of our talk today.
Bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and
Elder Kenneth, I see you. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Please help me share this live. If you click down on your screen for about 3 seconds, you know, some names will pop up. Good evening. Good evening, Shan. I see you. I hope you are good. Help me share to your friends, to your loved ones. Another crucial topic today. Try saying their name or following them. Thank you, Shan, for sharing. Thank you, Adebenga, for sharing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Elder Kenneth, for sharing. Thank you so much. Please, let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Thank you thank you for the heart to me. Thank you, sir. I hope we are keeping well. Happy Monday, everyone. Amazing. Thank you, Shan. I see you're sharing. Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you're joining from. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you, Shan. I hope we are good. I hope we're keeping well. Happy Monday to us. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. I hope you are rejoicing as well and you're glad in it. Another day. I can't believe the month is just going so fast. I think this is the last Monday in the month of November. It's amazing. We just have to thank God for life despite, life's challenges. We have to keep hope alive and keep thanking God. Adewi, I see you. Good evening. Please help share this live. Let's follow one another as well as we join this live. You can tap, 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 tap. Bring the likes up, and TikTok says this will attract other people to be part of our, community today. Yes, hola at you, A13. Hola, I hope you are good. And this time next month will be about Christmas. I hope we are ready for Christmas. Thank you so much for the heartbeat. Thank you. A13, thank you. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Christmas season. Yeah, I love that period of the year so much. Well, I hope we are keeping well, just like I've asked. I hope life is treating us well. We have to keep hope alive. Definitely. We're talking today about decision making. Decision making, very crucial. I mean, if you're not together, if you're not all together with it, making decisions sometimes could be very challenging, very tough, because nobody wants to make mistakes. So you have to make decisions. But at times or sometimes we would make mistakes even in our decision making. We weigh decisions, we think about it, reflect on it. Sometimes you might even seek opinion here and there, but at the end of the day, it's still on you to make decision. You have to make your mind up. This is how you're going to do this. You needed this topic, Shan. Okay, well, that means you're in the right place. If you know any other person who's needing this topic, please share to them so that they don't miss this talk today, because it's very important, especially when the year is coming to an end. Certain decisions, you may have to close your eyes and just make those decisions, and sometimes it's hard, you're afraid, you're scared, and all of that. But on Inside today, we're going to talk about this, especially from an individual perspective, because you are your person, your decision, especially adults. Now, no mommy, no daddy, you just have to make up your mind about whatever it is. And sometimes, like I said, it could be very challenging. So just to give us a bit of insight into what we're going to be talking about today, which I'm going to expand some more, to bring other perspective to it, in case you're at a crossroad, about this decision you want to make. Is it going to make you? Is it going to break you? Is it going to benefit you? Is it going to, does it have consequences and all of that? So we're going to be looking at different aspects of decision making today from an individual point of view. Oluwadamilare, I see you. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Please help me. Admissions, I see you. Help me send this to all your friends. Let them be part of this talk today. It's very crucial. We have to make decisions. Are they the right ones? Are they the good ones? Are they the ones that will come back and bite us maybe weeks after or months after? Are they lifelong changing decision? Are we making the right choice? All of these things we're going to be looking at today on Insight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, A13. Let's keep tapping. Let's just keep tapping so that authors can be attracted here, because these are crucial talks that affect every individual, whether you're young, you're old, even young people. They have to make decisions. Totally awful. I see you. So let's go into our talk today, and let's build it up, gain understanding. Let's reflect as well. Wherever we're at, in whatever decision we're making, I pray that the Lord will guide us and we will not make the wrong decisions regarding any, whatever it is we need to decide about. Thank you for the Heart Me admissions. I see a regular prophet or say. I see you. Good evening. I hope you are keeping well as well. So, decision making, Adetunji, I see you, is one of the most influential aspects of a person's life. Every choice, big or small, shapes our future, our relationships, our character, and even our spiritual walk. Janet, I see. I don't know what I'm wearing today. It's not white as such, but Amara, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. So, whether it's a career path, a relationship, a ministry calling, or a daily attitude, decisions form the structure of who we become. We are our own decision. Let me put it that way. Because of this, intentional, God-led decision making is very important. I don't want to make a decision and then in a couple of months' time, I will regret it for the rest of my life. Nomsi, I see you. Good evening. So we have to be mindful when we're making decisions. Solar Deck, I see you. Amtech, Henro, I see you guys. Thanks so much for joining. Please help share this live to all your friends, your followers. Let them be part of this talk today. So let's look at the weight of personal decisions, because some decisions, like I say, can make you or break you. Hereby Rita, I see you. Thank you. So from an individual perspective, decision making often feels like standing at a crossroad. Many times, the choices we make are not easy. They require clarity. They require courage, wisdom, and, alignment with our values. Even sometimes those alignment with our values is challenged in the decision we have to make, because you find yourself sometimes in a dilemma and you have to make decisions. You have to weigh everything. Is this you? Would it, sometimes it could be hard, I know, but let's talk about this thing today so that it will be easier whatever decision we need to make. Every person must recognize that they are responsible for their choices, whether it's influenced by external people, external influences, whatever. You have to make your choice. Eventually, Eugene, I see you. Miss Ghana, I see you. So, this responsibility is not meant to create fear, but to cultivate awareness and maturity. Like I said, sometimes you make decisions you think is the best decision, and then a few months down the line, it comes to bite you real hard. You will learn from it, you will mature from it, and you're aware of it, so that next time, you know not to make certain choices again. So my Bible emphasizes the importance of wise choices. Proverbs 10:8, it says that the wise in heart will receive commands, but a prating fool will fall. So we need to be mindful. It just reminds us that with wisdom begins humility, being willing to listen, learn, and seek direction. Man may mislead you, friends can mislead you, colleagues can mislead you, peers can mislead you, your society can mislead you, but God can never ever mislead you. And that's why you need to have that connection with God, such that when you're making decisions, you will seek His face. In humility, He's always there to guide and to direct us. And that's if we have a relationship with Him. Because most times God is speaking. Even those who have relationship with God, sometimes they find it hard to hear what He's saying, because their mind is thinking logically. They're trying to reason things logically. If I put 2 and 2 together, it should make 4. And God is telling you 2 and 1 will make 10. And you're like, would that work? Would that? So sometimes we kind of have this mini battle in our minds, because we have to make the decision. Nana, I see you. Hisa, I see you. So let's look at the role of God in personal decision making. I feel this is very important, and that's why I said what I said earlier. God made me. He knows my beginning from my end, where I am right now, whether things are good or bad or what. He knows that I'm going to come to this moment in life, so He knows. So if I have to make any decision right now and I don't want to make any sort of mistake, I'll have to seek God. Father, Lord, in this time of life, this decision making, at this time I need to make it. What would you have me do such that the consequences, will be at least minimal, so to say? What would you have me decide? A or B? Lord, help me. And He will give you hints or His word or something. So let's look at the role of God in personal decision making. One of the greatest promises God gives to individuals is that He is willing to guide them. We were never meant to navigate life alone. Never. Even if you're an orphan, you don't have family. No, we were never meant to navigate life alone. Proverbs, very popular verse in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 3, 5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Say, in all your ways acknowledge Him, God, and He shall direct your path. I remember that song. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Are you trusting God before making that decision? No matter how hard any decision is we have to make. Sometimes it could be making decision on behalf of a loved one. Even imagine a loved one on a sick bed, and you probably have talked about things. If things get to this level, I just want to go, don't leave me on life support or something like that. And then you're thinking, is your loved one, how can you make that decision? And they're neither here nor there, and you remember your conversations, and now is the moment you have to make that decision. Should they take the life support off or should they leave it? I've been in that position before. It was not it wasn't an easy decision to make. So it could be life related, or how do I put it now? You have to make that decision. It was the toughest decision I had to make, deciding whether my sister lives with the life support or whether they take it off to see, I'm like, doctors, I need a minute. No, this is too much. And I had to make this decision on behalf of the family, and it was tough. So I know these things. And then, I had to cry to God. The people around me, I'm like, I need to pray to God. I do not know what choice I need to make here, because I don't want to lose my sister. What if they remove the support machine and she doesn't come through? What if, all the what ifs come into mind? And at the end of the day, doctors are waiting at intervals that will come. Have you come to a decision? Are we taking it off? And then when it was so hard to make up my mind, I'm like, God help me, with tears and cry and all of that. They came and said, okay, you have to give us a yes or a no between this time and that time. I'm like, Lord, what do I do? What do I do? This is hard. But I had to make that decision. It was one of the toughest decisions I had to make. It's a long watch time. I don't know what you mean, admission. So, yeah. So let's look at, this portion of the Bible. I'm talking about we trusting God, in whatever decision we want to make as a person, as an individual. This passage of the Bible that I read, trusting in the Lord with all our hearts and all that, God desires to be involved in our decision making. He doesn't want to leave us to it, and we must not rely solely on our own limited perspective, because God sees beyond us. He sees more than, even when He shows us certain things, He doesn't show us in full, because some of us will pass out when we see certain things. And again, when we invite God in, He directs and aligns our path. And I remember I had to pray, and my brother eventually joined me, and we're like, okay, we have to decide. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know what to do, but I'm trusting you for guidance. Should they take the life support machine off or should they leave it? And these people are like, you know what? There's no brain activity, there's this, there's no that. So if we cannot decide as a family, if I cannot make up that decision or make up my mind about what to do, they would have to make up the decision, or they would have to come to a decision as a professional carer for her. And I'm like, Lord, it was hard. It was hard because at that time God is speaking, but my heart was heavy. And I remembered there was a room that was given to the family where you could sit, and pray and do whatever. I just heard, let her go. And I heard 5 o'clock. I'm like, why 5 o'clock? So let her go gracefully, because 5 is the number of grace. Wow, it was hard to hear. I'm like, Lord, I should let her go. My sister, that's gonna be it. I will never see her again. That's gonna be it. Why? And then I relayed that to my brother, to my husband, and to the pastor. This is what I've heard in my spirit. And, everybody comforting one another. And I had to go see the doctors. Okay, Friday, I think it was, 5 o'clock, please. And we were there, just worshiping and still trusting that this person will come through. She wasn't going to pass away. I guess she was a fighter, in herself, and just there. And I saw them removing all the all those machines, one after the other. They were taking it off, and I was holding on to, God knows, my brother and the pastor was holding on to them like, God, please, they're taking this machine off. I've made a decision based on what you've said to me. God, still trusting God to the last minute. And when they removed all the machine, I think she was kind of breathing on her own. I'm like, God, is she going to come through? Is she going to be okay? And after like 5, 10, 15 minutes, it kind of slowed down. And, into the 20 minutes past 5, it just all stopped. And the room was so quiet. I'm like, have I made the right decision? Did I actually hear God right? This, and I was almost questioning all of that. But yeah, it was what it was. Like I said, if I hadn't made up my mind to say this, the doctors would have, decided anyways. And, she passed on to glory. And I thank God for her life. At least I was privileged to be her sister, to be there the last minute. So what decision do you have to make? Yours may not be exactly what I've just, told us now, but it could be something that you're crying. Hey, if I make this decision, would it have effects, a ripple effect, negative one? If I don't make this decision, what's gonna happen? I get it. Sometimes it is that difficult. Decision making becomes lighter and clearer when we surrender our own will and trust to God's wisdom, which was what I needed to do at that time. As hard as it was, I had to hear God. I had to hear, what do I do? And he said that. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go with that. And there was some sort of peace, even though it wasn't a good situation that, we wanted. But there was just this peace. And I wanted to even cry and, but there was just this peace. There was just this calm in the space, in the room, and when everything stopped and they made a pronouncement, there was just this peace that I can't explain, but it was what it was. So let's look at the internal battle, emotion versus wisdom, because when you have to make decisions, your feelings, oh, I'm feeling this way, and then you need wisdom, to balance things. I mean, some of us will say we know there's God, but we don't believe in God and all of that. But decisions have to be made. You have to make up your mind about whatever it is, whether you seek God's face or you decide to, logically reason things out and think pros, cons, or whatever it is you do. But let's look at the internal battle of emotion versus wisdom. So as individuals, we each carry emotions, we carry fear, we carry hopes, we carry desires. This internal factor often influence our decision making. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I feel so good right now. Yes, I'm going to do it. And wisdom is not in play, just your feeling, your emotion. Sometimes you're lucky, it's just about, okay, whatever decision you have to make. But most times, you find out that, oh my God, I felt good about this thing, but now I'm not too sure right now. But then you've made a decision already. So we need to be mindful. We need to be mindful. Sometimes, even more than we realize, we find out that these feelings, internal feelings, may affect our decision making. Feelings are real, but feelings are not always reliable guides, because we feel like this minute, the next minute we don't feel like that anymore. What happens to the decision we've made? Say the guesswork. Oh, good evening, welfare to wealth. I hope you're good. So let's be mindful. However, on the other side, wisdom, on the other hand, is steady, is grounded, and is aligned with the truth. That is if we have wisdom. It's only God that gives wisdom. My Bible says in Proverbs 28:26, it says that he who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. Sometimes we feel we'll know it all. We'll just make that decision, a hint, a hunch, or whatever it is you want to call it, and then you just make that decision. But when you're a wise person and you've often lived life with wisdom, knowing that this is my feeling right now might fail me, I don't want to feel, and then at the end of the day, I'm not thinking straight. So we need to be mindful. Are we making decision based on emotion or based on wisdom? Wisdom is profitable to direct. So this is not a rejection of emotions, don't get me wrong. Rather, it warns us not to let emotions make decisions alone. So wise decision making comes when emotions are acknowledged, but not always to rule. Like I say, emotions waver. 1 minute you're happy, the next minute you're sad. But what happens to that decision you have made in between? You're going to have to live with that. So most times we women make decisions based on our emotions. Well, Shan, if you say that, because they always say women are emotional. Men too have emotion. They just don't show it like we women do. But all I'm saying is, let's be mindful that whatever decision we're making is not solely ruled by our emotion. Let's be wise in our decision making, and just perhaps we might be okay with whatever decision we've had to make. Again, seeking counsel and clarity. This is important as well, and that's how you need to be mindful of the people you surround yourself with. Personal decision making does not mean isolated decision making. Sometimes you may have to, seek others' opinion, or apart from God. If you're not close to God, you have friends, family, loved ones, close friends who's got your back and all of that. I get it. So mature individuals know when to seek counsel from the right sources. Godly mentors, trusted friends, and spiritual leaders. Trusted spiritual leaders. So it's very important so that you can have some sort of clarity. Proverbs 15:22 says that without counsel, plan go awry, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. So what plan is going awry for you right now? Have you tried seeking counsel, maybe from your spiritual leader, from your godly mentors, trusted friends? Sometimes it could be your childhood friend. They've always been there. They've got your back through the ups and downs, and you just, you run things by them. What do you think? And God help you, they know God. They'll say, let's take it to the Lord in prayer or something. So it's very important. Seeking counsel provides perspective. It provides correction even. It provides support and spiritual safety, such that you're not alone. You're not, by yourself making that decision. So wise individuals understand that humility in decision making leads to stability. You humble yourself enough to know that I don't know all the answers. Let me run it by this person. They may seem wiser. It's not the time to be jealous that they're wiser than you. Better go and seek counsel, because some people, because they're in that moment, they have to make the decision. God is speaking to them, they're not hearing. So sometimes God may have to use that your friend to speak to you. God may have to use that spiritual leader to speak to you. So this is how God works. You're not meant to be, alone by yourself all the time, especially in your decision making. There you go. So prayer is key, the greatest decision making tool. I've shared my one, here is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make. I had to go to pray to God, Father, what do I do? These doctors don't let me rest. I need to make that decision. They're going to take it off. When are they taking it? In fact, God was so specific to the timing. Even I didn't understand, like, why 5 o'clock? Said 5 is grace. Let them take it off 5 o'clock on that Friday. Let her go gracefully. I'm like, wow. In my own thing, I'll just say, well, everybody's awake. Doctors resume 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock when they're ready to take it off or something. But it wouldn't mean anything. But when I heard 5 o'clock, I'm like, why, Lord? Why 5 in the evening? Like, even I can't remember if the doctors asked me specifically why 5 o'clock. I mean, I would have told them what I heard anyways. So it was not even contended, like, so to say, like, oh, okay, we can't do 5 o'clock, or the person to do, no, nothing at all. They just like, okay, that's it. So they gave us the time for the day till 5 o'clock, and it was time, and whoever was around gathered, and then, they did that. So prayer really is very crucial. If you don't know God, I don't know how you're living life. I don't know how you're making your decisions. I don't know how you're guided. I'm not forcing God down us, but I'm telling you my own lived experience. Prayer is the greatest decision-making tool I can recommend to anyone. Every major decision requires prayer. Not as a religious duty, no, but as a relational conversation with God. I had to do that. Through prayer, we receive peace. I guess that was the one I was trying to explain. There was just this peace, even though, of course, she's gone to glory. But there was just this peace. It's not like everybody wailing, shouting, hey. But there was just this peace I could not explain. I've just lost my sister, but there was just this peace in that room. So through prayer, we receive peace, we receive confirmation, we receive redirection, we receive this inner assurance that all will be well. My Bible tells me in James 1:5, it says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. So I needed God's wisdom because it was tough, people. It was tough. It just means that God never withholds wisdom. If you ask him, he will never do. I mean, from those who seek it sincerely, because he knows that you're trusting him. You're lost. Right now, you're just lost. And you're trusting him, and he's your father who best to guide you in the path to go. So prayer, I will recommend, pray to God, develop a relationship with God such that when he's speaking, you're able to hear, because it's very important. If he's speaking and you can't hear, I mean, you're going to make the wrong decision if care is not taken. So let's see, because it comes at a cost. Counting the cost. Every decision has a cost. It will cost you time. It can cost you effort. It can cost you emotional investment. It can be sacrificial or delay. So that decision can cost you when it's delayed. So mature decision making requires examining the full picture. And even Jesus teaches us in Luke 14:28. He says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost? Sit down first and count the cost. Whatever decision you have to make, these are practical ways you can even be guided to making the right decision. Say, how will you know God heard your prayers towards the decision you're making? That's why I say you need to develop a relationship with God such that when he's speaking, you would hear. There's a still small voice that will speak to you, but this thing takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. This relationship is not bam. Okay, today you've accepted Jesus into your life. Bam. He's directing you. You're hearing. He's hearing, and all of that. No, sometimes you may have to wait. You might feel, hey, you need to make that decision, and you can't wait, and then you rush into it. Sometimes you may have to wait. Let that peace overwhelm you, and then you can hear what exactly he's asking you to do. Yeah, it takes time. I've experienced it. Oh, there you go, Shan. It takes time. For me, it was building. Even there are certain things that I would just know that this is the decision, but I'll be like, no. I'm like, there's no point even going to God and asking God, because you've built that. It's like, let this mind of Christ be in you, because you've been building relationship with Christ. You will get to a place, even if you don't pray, that thing on the inside of you, the Holy Spirit will just guide you do that without you having prayed. So these things, it takes time. It takes time. It's not microwave age now. You just pray, bam, like that, bam. Some prayers, God will tell you no. He will tell you no outright. Do not even decide that. Oh, thank you. Good evening, Leslie. And when God says no and you hear, do you think your body sits down well with your body? You will still be fighting and be thinking, I heard no. But what if you're in fact you don't want to hear no? Sometimes you don't want to hear no. And sometimes no, in fact, when God says no, that is an answer as well. So you better make sure you're hearing right. You will know, because that peace, like I mentioned, it would just come on you, and you know that this thing, okay, this is what you're feeling peaceful with, to deciding, and then you go with it. You go with it. Sometimes you feel that, you hear that, and you go for it. Perhaps, let me see now. I'm trying to find a personal example that will fit into that situation that I assumed or I thought I heard God. That's why I said these things, it takes time. I think it was when we were having our third child, yeah. So me and my husband, we've had 2 boys. We waited 6.5 years to try again. Like, maybe we'll have a daughter this time around. And then I remember when I was pregnant, we went to this store. We wanted to start doing shopping. I've gone for scans. I said, no, I'm not going to ask them. I don't want to know the gender, because we're trusting God. It's going to be a girl. It's going to be a daughter and all of that. Sometimes we're just enjoying, so to say. And then we went to this store. As I entered the store, there was this display. It was like a picture frame. And I just saw this picture frame with like those angel looking baby, and they wrote Elizabeth. I'm like, oh, is this God confirming to me? Is this God? Is me or telling myself? Is this not that I prayed though? But we're praying and trusting God for a daughter, no doubt. And I just saw that. I'm like, the first thing my eyes saw, caught with, is this frame, Elizabeth. Is God telling me we're going to have a daughter, and I will name this daughter Elizabeth? And I said, I'm going to buy this frame. I'm going to keep it. It's going to be. But we have a name we wanted to give our daughter, if ever the daughter came. So I bought that. Of course, we've been praying, Lord, we want a girl, we need a daughter, We have 2 boys already, And then I bought that thing. But you know what? God was speaking, but I wasn't hearing fully. And I'll tell you why. I don't know why this example came to mind. So, what happened? I bought that frame. Even my husband said, let's buy this dress. I said, I don't know about dress, so let's buy unisex color, normal baby stuff and all of that. He said, we're trusting God. And as we were in that store, there was this Caucasian woman chasing the daughter, probably a 2-3-year-old, running in the store, and she was shouting the name of the daughter, come. And me and my husband looked at each other like, this is the name we wanted to give our daughter. I'm like, this is confirmation. God is confirming this, And he just bought the dress. I'm like, hey, it was an expensive dress. He just bought the dress that is going to be for the baby christening or whatever. I said, hey, okay, all right. And I bought the frame, Elizabeth. And we went home. And I kept looking at that frame. I said, Father, Elizabeth is coming, rubbing my belly, praying and all that, trusting that this will happen. Decision making. He bought the dress. He decided he will buy the dress in faith and all of that. What has God said? Anyway, so cut a long story short, I think it was maybe 2-3 months to my due date. I just said, you know what, let me put myself out of this so that I'll go and do my proper shopping. And then I took my second son with me when I went for the scan. But because it was a child, they didn't want him to enter the room with me. My husband was not with me. So they asked for a nurse to hold him at the reception whilst I went in for my scan. I did the scan, and the woman asked, "Do you want to know the sex of the baby?" I'm like, Lord, my heart was beating fast. Okay. And just said, "Congratulations, you're having a boy." My God. When he said a boy, my heart sunk in a bit. I'm like, but everything is okay. Everything is okay. And oh my goodness, my heart was like, what? Another boy, Lord? After all this prayer, after we trust in you and all of that. Anyways, I came out from the scanning room, and my son was waiting at the reception, with the nurse. And then when I came out, I was in bits. I had to sit down to gather myself. And the boy, my son, was there and looking at me. He said, Mom, I know, it's another boy. Yes, and his name is going to be John. It was at that time, I'm like, Lord, tears came down. John, oh my God, is this what God has been trying to tell me since I bought that frame? If you go into the Bible and you look at the story of Elizabeth, cousin of Mary, mother of Jesus, Elizabeth had a son named John the Baptist. So God was telling me, as you saw that frame, Elizabeth, if I had listened, we wouldn't have bought that dress. If I had listened, I know that Elizabeth in the Bible was going to have, had a son called John. So our baby was going to be John. But I didn't listen because I wanted the girl. My mind, girl. When my son said that, it was like the Holy Spirit speaking through him. And he said, John. But because of where we were at the time, I said, okay, instead of John English, we had a Sean, which is John in English. Anyways, when I got home, I was ashamed. I'm like, God was actually trying to speak to me so that I would prepare myself to know we're having another boy. But I wasn't having it. I wanted a girl. We needed a girl, so we thought. And then that was it. So decision making from then on, I went into the store and be buying my blue stuff, my white stuff, and all the, boys' color, so to say. So sometimes these things, like I said, you might hear, but because you're excited or you're agitated, you didn't hear the full thing, and then you go and make the wrong decision. We bought the dress. You know what? My other friend was pregnant at the time, and she had a daughter. We had to give that dress to her. I said, just let it go. There's nothing you can do, because we kept the dress. We couldn't return it anymore. We had to give it to our friend who had a daughter. I had a boy, and she had, and I'm like, wow. So it taught me, like, sometimes even when I know I've heard clearly, I still go back, Lord, please reconfirm, because you know me. Sometimes, I'm not that I'm doubting God, but I just wanted to be 100% sure that this is the decision I need to make, Lord. And then he might show me, open Isaiah 4:10 or something, and I will read. Oh my goodness. In fact, I won't waste time anymore. I just go straight and make that decision. So what am I saying? I have to say that I don't know why that came as an example. Sometimes we hear partly. Sometimes God will tell us partly because he needed us to wait at the appointed time to making that decision, and then he will open fully. That's why I say you need that relationship with God, and you need to grow it. How do you do that? In the place of prayer, studying the word, meditating on God's word, just being in his presence, trying to hear him. Most times when we go to God, we pray. We don't wait to actually hear what he's saying to us. We just pray. In Jesus' name we pray. Off we go. But he's talking. We left already. So these things takes time. So for which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost? Count the cost. I mean, that's why we have our brain to think, say, or just a lead. Well, you'll come and explain better admissions, because I know there's sometimes a conversation going on there. So it teaches us that we should think ahead. And this is sometimes how we can help ourselves make certain decisions as well. Think ahead. Okay, this decision I'm going to make, try to project. How is it going to be beneficial? Is this thing really it? Try to think ahead what the meaning would be of this decision you're about to make. And again, consider the consequences. These are ways, you sit down, in fact, if you have to draw a table, pros and cons or whatever it is you have to do. Do that because it helps your perspective. It helps you see beyond what you're feeling right now. And again, evaluate readiness. Are you ready to make that decision? And understand that, it can have long-term impact on you, whether positively or negatively. These are things you need to weigh them. You need to consider them. You need to reflect on them. Give yourself time. Sometimes we want to rush into things and we'll rush out or we'll rush into trouble if care is not taken. So a wise individual does not make impulsive decisions. They make informed decision. So be informed. Like I said, think ahead. Try to project, okay, if I do this, how would it, consider the consequences. It's very important. When you see that the consequence far outweighs, the prospect of that thing, you would have to rethink and be mindful. So let's see alignment with purpose in terms of our decision making. Good decisions align with your values. Know this. It aligns with your identity and it aligns with your God-given purpose. When decisions contradict your purpose, they create internal conflict, and your feelings at that time does not even know what to do with itself. So you really have to be mindful. You need to ask yourself certain questions when you're making certain decisions. Does this honor God? Will it honor God? Ask yourself that. The first thing, if you're a believer, anyway, cakes and pastry, I think. I see you, good evening. Does this decision I'm about to make, does it honor God? Because it will help you a lot if you can honestly answer these questions. Does this align with who I am becoming? Does it align with who I am becoming? I don't know, for example, I've been counseling and all that, and something's like, go and get a certificate and do this thing professionally and expand the people you can help and all that. I'm like, hey, is this God or is this me? Or is it because people say, oh, you listen well? No, I really need to be sure, because it'll be 3 years of my life. Either I'll go to waste 3 years of my life at uni, or I go and improve 3 years of my life at uni for my future, so to say. Does it align with God? I've always known this. I've always felt this. I've always seen this. I've seen a vision of me doing this. Also, it's actually counseling, and I had to begin to think ahead. And again, does it align with who I am becoming? Of course. I've always counseled. In fact, I can't remember, as far as back I was a teenager, even carrying my own burden. I will be counseling people, praying with people. So it's always been there. And again, ask yourself, does this draw me closer to my calling? Oh, yes. And I'm like, you know what? I have to do this. I need to do this. It's no longer a feeling. This is becoming a reality. And, of course, I was scared and all of that. Oh, yeah. Validation from others. What if it doesn't come? If validation never comes from others, where does that leave you? I don't know if that's what you mean, but, And again, ask yourself, does this strengthen my character? Boy, oh boy, it has in many ways I never thought. As I was doing the course, I'm like, why did I not do this all my life? It was like it was built for me. I felt like something. In fact, I remembered my final year when the lecturer was asking, now we're rounding off the program, how do you feel? I was close to tears. I'm like, I feel so fulfilled already. Like I should have done this ages ago, but there's time to everything. In God's own time, He makes all things beautiful, even in our lives. I felt like, oh my God, this thing has been missing from my life all this while. It was beautiful experience. It was just what I needed. And I finished and I'm like, I felt so good. It felt good. It feels good. It still feels good. And I'm like, this definitely. And a lot of puzzles I've had in the past just started, making sense. I'm like, oh, this was why this. Oh my goodness. So thank God I made that right decision. Purpose-driven decisions create long-term peace. Like, imagine doing something you love passionately, and at the end of the day, you're getting paid for it. That, for me, is fulfillment. I want to wake up and love what I'm doing. I don't want to wake up and say, oh God, I have to go to that work again. Think twice. Maybe you're not doing the right thing, or you're not in the right career, or you're not in the right profession, or whatever it is. You're looking forward to the next day and the next day and the next day already. Then, you've made the right decision. So let's look at the role of peace in decision making. I really had to go there because this is, I think, the best way I think I can explain it. That peace, nobody can explain this peace to you. You will feel this peace. You will know that peace when you make that decision. So one of the clearest indicators of a God-led decision is peace. You will have that peace within you. Even though the decision will come hard, you have to do certain difficult things, or it's not palatable, but you've made that decision, and there's just this peace in the midst of chaos. I think that's how best I can put it. Not convenience, not comfort. I'm talking about that peace, that inner peace when you make the right decision. Colossians 3:15 says, and let the peace of God rule in your heart. When you make that decision, is God's peace ruling in your heart? Or you made that decision, now you're having sleepless night. You've made that decision, it's like, hey, what have you done? Hey, it's like more chaos, even more conflict within you and all of that. You might have to rethink. The word rule here, like let the peace of God rule in your heart, it refers to acting like an umpire, like something guiding you, and you're so sure the direction you're taking, the signaling, the confirming, like you're just so sure within you. Yeah, inner peace, very personal thing. You have to feel it, even though the outside is chaotic, but you just feel that inner peace, and it gives you this hope, the strength, the courage to stand by that decision you have made. So if a decision robs you of peace, it is often a sign to pause, pray, and reconsider. If a decision robs you of peace, it is often a sign to pause, pray, and reconsider. You will not regret that. Again, decision making. Sometimes we make the wrong decisions, very grievous decisions, and all of that. So let's see, learning from our mistakes. Decision making is a journey, because you made this decision today, another thing will require you making another decision tomorrow. And this is part of our daily living. No one makes perfect decisions all the time. So please don't be overly hard on yourself. Otters, I see you. No one makes perfect decisions all the time. Even those who hear God, they'll still make mistake. Perhaps you did not pay attention to the detail God has given you, because I know it can never be God making that mistake. And sometimes He may even allow you go through certain mistakes because He wants you to learn and teach others. So, God is God. He's not a respecter of any person. He can use anyone to teach anyone any lesson. So what matters is how you respond afterwards, learning from our mistakes. Reflect on that decision, how you came about, how this, how that. Reflect on, the ups and downs, the side to it, every angle to it. Repent if needed. Like, God, I'm so sorry. Oh, now sometimes you would have even made your decision, and you know that something in you was telling you something. It's God trying to speak to you, but you're logically reasoning, you're feeling and all of that, and you just decide. And when you're not finished, and the thing is, you know that something was telling me not to. Something. You will know that something was telling you. So just go to God and say, Lord, I am sorry. I've made a wrong decision. Forgive me. Lord, I will not do this again, or whatever. Go back to God and say, next time, Lord, help me to hear you right, and all of that, and then adjust. Because these things, like I said, wrong decision can impact you for life if care is not taken. God overruling things, yeah, God does. And when you adjust, you will grow. So I'm rounding off now because I want us to come and talk about this as much as possible. Yeah, hopefully we won't stay too long either. So mistakes become teachers. know that when you approach them humbly, don't go and be blaming everybody because that decision was all yours. Like I said, even when you seek counsel and all of that, you still have to make up your mind. Auntie M, I see you. You still have to make that decision. Sometimes 4 or 5 people can advise you and they'll have different opinion, and then you're even lost some more, and then you still have to sit down and think about what everybody have said, the pros, the cons, the all of that, and still make up your mind. So mistakes becomes teachers when you approach them humbly. So don't be too hard on yourself. You get it right this time, you don't get it right the next time, you get it right another time again. It's just part of who we are, and this kind of grows us into wisdom as an individual. So I'm concluding now, and I want to say this: the power of a well-made decision. The power of a well-made decision. A well-made decision shapes your path in life. It protects your peace. It strengthens your character. I know a lot of changes I've experienced in the last 4 or 5 years. I can't begin to tell you. I know the level of growth, the level of maturity. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, hey, is this not this woman cooking jollof rice in the kitchen and having no bother in the world? Now, this is who I am today. And aligns with it aligns you in God's will. Aligns you in God's will. The power of a well-made decision. It will align you with God's will for your life. And you know that is not a mistake. So from an individual perspective, decisions are a sacred stewardship, if I can put it that way. Each one is an opportunity to walk in wisdom. Honor God because you've heard Him and you're doing what is asked of you, or you're making that decision. And again, move closer to the life you are called to live when you make that powerful, good decision. And this is the thing you will enjoy as a person, and you can even pour that onto other people as well. So when you let God guide your decisions, it's very important. You will walk in clarity. God is not an author of confusion at all. You will walk in clarity. You will walk with stability. I've shared here many times, all this topic I'm bringing, I cannot boast of them, I'm telling you. It's me in the place of prayer. I'm like, Lord, okay, I've written the dates down, and then I'll be hearing, put this, that one, this one, decision making, conflict. I'm like, sometimes I write, I'm like, hey, this one, you want me to talk about? Just, and before I realize the whole year is filled up. So let God guide your decisions. You will walk with clarity, stability, and confidence, knowing your steps are ordered by God. Sometimes, most times, even the topic when I'm preparing, I can't remember the title now. I was preparing one the other time, maybe a couple of months ago, and it brought tears to me. It was ministering to me myself. I'm like, Lord, this has to be you. And my prayer that day, I remember, is that, Lord, as this thing is ministering to me, let it minister to somebody. Let somebody be liberated as well, And honestly, that day, I was holding myself from not tearing up. I can't remember the topic now. But know that when you make that decision based on clarity, stability, confidence, peace in your heart, you will be better for it. Psalm 37 verse 23 says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Will God delight in that decision you're about to make? I'm asking myself, not just you. Will he delight in that decision you're about to make? Be mindful. It can change your life. It can break your life. Sometimes I feel, small decisions. Small decisions become a mighty thing, and then by the time the repercussion comes, it's in big folds. You don't want to find yourself, dealing with that as well. So that is my talk for today. However, I have 2 questions for us today that we can actually talk about, help us to, expand more, reflect more. Say, God, bring into memory long forgotten events to buttress your point. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe if you want to share with us admissions. So my 2 questions today are, Why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times? Why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times? And second, how can you tell when you are rushing a decision instead of discerning it? How can you tell when you're rushing a decision instead of discerning it? Guys, thank you so much for listening to my talk.
Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
Okay, admissions, I hear you.
Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Let's see who said.
Oh, inside. Inside.
Send an invite. Let's talk some more about this. Bridget, I see you. Diamond, I see you.
Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Good evening, everyone. At least everyone that's come into the box. I hope our day has been good. Happy Monday. It's Monday, yeah. I keep thinking Thursday. I want the week to go fast, fast. Thank you so much for joining in. Shan, Leslie, Elder Kenneth, I see you. Thank you so much. Please, still let's share this live to our friends, our followers. Let them be. What happened, Lala, Aaron? I thought you were coming off to share one or two with us. Mabel, I see you. Diamond Shop, I see you. Lala, what happened? I hope it's not TikTok dropping people off. Oh, okay. Let's accept that. 8:30. I said, hello, Lala.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good evening to you.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Long time. I was going to ask, is this your first time here on Inside?
Well, yeah, I got an invitation from Sharon, and ICC is here. Yeah.
Okay, so let's follow one another. Let's see. I think you're even a friend. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, how are you?
Fearful and wonderfully made I am.
Hallelujah. I like that response. I love that response. So you're welcome. Again, another clap for being the first time here on Inside. Yeah, we always like to welcome our first timers, and after today you're part of this community, so hopefully we get to see more of you as well here on Inside with FunmiRoyal. So we've been talking about this decision making. I don't know how much of the talk you heard, but my question to us today is, why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times? Or if you want to try the second question, how can you tell when you're rushing a decision instead of discerning a decision? Or if you want to talk about general, whatever's coming to mind when you're thinking about decision making, please feel free to share your views. Let's hear your views about this topic.
Well, thank you for letting me in, but more importantly, thank you, Sharon, for giving me the link to join in. Yeah.
It's Shan.
Shan, thank you, Shan. Yeah.
I want to go to the first. I think I want to answer the first question about.
What do you think why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times?
Hey, you see, the heaviest responsibility God has given mankind is the ability to decide or to choose. That's a heavy responsibility.
Very.
Including choosing against Him. So it is a part of life that we need to decisively deal with when you're making up your mind. And the fear of making wrong decision is the greatest challenge in deciding what to do next. The fear of making a wrong decision. See, God has designed life only to respond to decision.
True.
Yeah. And if you don't lay option for yourself, you'll have to settle for mediocrity. And if you don't decide for yourself, your life is like a wheelbarrow. You move as far as other people can push you. And I don't think any human being want to live like a wheelbarrow.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, thank you. And you see, sometimes as Christian, we do selective scriptural recitement, like God timing is the best. I'm waiting on the Lord, you know.
Yeah.
Yet sometimes God is waiting on us to make up our mind. One thing I want to put with more emphasis that you highlighted is the consequences. You see, decision happen in an instant. When you want to make a right decision, study the consequences. When you study the consequences, decision becomes so easy.
Wow.
You must do a due diligence if you're able to live with the decision you're gonna take. Because you don't live with your decision, rather you live with the consequences.
Yeah. Wow.
So you need to put a lot into consideration, like I want to quit this marriage, I want to quit this business, I want to quit this job. What are the consequences when you do that? And when you're able to understand the consequences, you can make a very valid decision. And I really advise people, don't make permanent decision over temporary challenges.
No, very crucial. Please repeat that again, please.
Never make a permanent decision over a temporary challenge. There was a time a couple got married for years without a child. So for purposes of companionship, they decided to buy a small puppy. They really loved the puppy so much. The puppy grew up to become a large dog. The dog protected them on several occasions. They really loved the dog. So after 8 years of childlessness, God finally gave them a child, and they were excited. You needed to be there to see the excitement. So they reduced the care, the attention they've been giving to the dog. And the dog felt neglected, like, what is the name of my problem? Okay, the dog found out, okay, the new baby could be the source of the challenge or the problem or abandonment. So one day when this couple were in the compound, they were cleaning the compound, the baby was in the cradle inside the house. Now, suddenly, the man looked back through the door only to see a dog wagging the tail with a mouth full of blood, and he was just wagging the tail. The man thought of the worst, rushed to where the dog is, picked a metal, hit the dog to death. He went to the room. Guess what he finds? A big snake lying close to the baby. The dog fought so much, wrestled with the snake, and killed the baby.
Wow.
And the baby was only just laughing. The man came back to the door side and only to
find the dead dog.
Dead dog is. The man got shocked, cried his heart out, how he killed his faithful dog.
Oh, goodness.
See the danger of an instant decision. Regardless of how experienced you are or how knowledgeable you are, delay taking decision. What you see may not be the reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are going to bring you evidence. Yeah, it was evident from the dog's mouth that it had killed the child. But behind the scene, there was another story. Sometimes you need to give people privileges to explain themselves. So don't take, like I was saying, never make a permanent decision over a temporary, issue that you may have at hand.
Wow, that is profound.
So that's all I wanted to add on what you've given us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, I'm just picturing this story now, a real story. Probably it's even happened somewhere. So you can imagine, spur of the moment. Sometimes when we rush into decision, is it the best really? And that's why we're talking about these things, to help one another. I see Shan, I don't know why you've been dropped. Let's bring you back. These things we need to be mindful. And I mean, there's so many aspects of life we might need to make certain decisions. Let's not rush into it, especially when we're not sure. When we're not sure, that's when we should pause. Like I said, pause and reflect and think, about whatever decision it is. Because, like I say, decisions can make us or can break us, and sometimes can even, buy us, as our people will say. Let's TikTok not come and frown on us. Thank you so much, Lala. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So, Shan, I'm gonna come to you. I know you've changed box, but I'm gonna come to you because I know you're second in the box. I know. Bye. Shan, good evening. I hope you're good. Happy Monday to you.
Hi, Funmi.
How are you, my dear?
I'm well today.
Good, good.
Yeah.
And thank you for inviting Lala to this platform. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can just hear the wisdom speaking. So he's
We
someone that
need such people in this community, because we have to get it right. We need to impact the right way, the godly way. So I love the fact that you've invited somebody who's impacted me already. Honestly, thank you for that.
you're welcome. And I thank him for joining. He's a very busy person. I know he won't be able to join every
Yeah, it's
Mondays and
fine. It's
Thursdays.
fine.
Would
It's
appreciate
fine.
the time he joined. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
So I don't know which question I'm going for. Could you kindly
Yeah,
repeat?
okay. So the first one is, why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times? And then the second one is, how can you tell when you're rushing a decision instead of discerning it? Elder Debbie. Mhm.
Debbie, I see you. I think
Mhm.
I'll respond to the first one.
Okay.
And I listened to your presentation and I was just speaking to myself, like all these things that you've been saying, I've experienced them.
Wow.
I've found myself in a
Thank you,
dilemma
Debbie.
of a decision out of my instincts
Mm.
or what I feel is right. I know there is this notion of making decisions
Yeah.
out of emotions or logic, like what you think, like you use your brain instead of the heart. But there are times you need to use your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and then other time you need to use your heart. And that where does this come from? It comes from the point of, maybe let me say, the type of decision you're making. The other decisions that you need to just put empathy, love, the act of humanity. Then the other decisions you have to just use your brain and you tell yourself that, you know what, my instinct, my heart, love, aspects of love, emotions first step down. Let me use my brain at the moment. So I've been in both of the situations. But I think overall we need to first think, use our brain the most, and then emotions comes in.
Mm.
And where does the brain comes in? It comes from the point of view weighing, let me say, the cost and benefit,
Mm-hmm.
cost and benefit of negative cost and
You did.
benefit
I
of,
see you.
and you've already mentioned that. I think I'm not going to kind of repeat it. But I usually love speaking from my point of experience. But maybe just to respond to the question, I'm just thinking of the times that I've been very indecisive, and at times the decisions I made were right and were not right. So what are those moments that I felt, the decision I was to make was overwhelming? And one of them, if I remember, because at times, let me just say that most times I make decisions, like the first thing that comes to my mind is the negative, I'm weighing the risk. Like if I first want to look at the risk of the decisions I'm making, and most times if my instincts and my analysis is telling me that it's going to be a very, risky, decision you're making, and then it stresses me. I tell myself, but I need to make a decision within this timeline. Now, if the risk is like this, what am I supposed to do to maybe to reduce down the risk? So most of the times I'm ignoring the other side of, the possibility of the decision I'm making being a good thing, and then I also focus on it. So at that point in time, I'm very overwhelmed whether I should make the decision at what point in time, how should I reduce the risk and all that. And then other thing that I also experienced, it was times when I had a lot of fear, but mostly my past experiences made the decisions, especially the decisions that I was to make, was kind of related to previous decisions I'd made. So I was again focusing on the past experiences I had, and most of them again, the negative experiences I had. I don't know why. Maybe if we had a psychologist here, someone would maybe try to clarify or explain why that happens a lot. So I find myself in a situation whereby I'm just thinking about perfectionism. I'm weighing it against the experiences, and then fears are there. Then I'm looking at also a point of validation. What do other people expect of me, think of me if I, I take this decision? So I have all sorts of, expectations from myself, but also expectations from other people and their take on the decisions I will make. So at that point, I might even just pause and first tell myself, let me first drop that decision, even when it's necessary for me to make it. Then the other thing, I most of the times I fear regrets. Like I wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to
if you're not afraid, then you're not human. It's only human.
Yeah, I fear regrets. Like I tell myself, I'm going to make decision now and then regret in life. How am I going to deal with that? So I don't want to make a decision that is, that I will regret in future, especially for a lifetime. If it's something that will cost me for a month, a year, I think I can deal with that. But something that is going to maybe cost me the rest of my life, I fear a lot. Actually, that's why most times I argue with my friends when it comes to marriage. Like I tell myself, I don't even know I'm going to get married because I don't want to make that decision, and I don't want to get into a marriage and then I divorce. I don't want to do that. So by the time I choose to marry someone's son, that would be like the greatest decision I've ever made in my life. So a fear of regret, right, like coming from the decision I make, really, stresses me a lot when it comes to making decision. But again, my biggest of all has been aspect of mental or emotional restraint. I can have something that I want to do, but I juggle to deal with my mental state. I don't know if you can. I don't know how best I can explain it, but I have all kinds of emotions. Sometimes even good emotions, and most times I try to avoid a decision I make when I'm in my best set of emotions. Like I'm too happy. I've done that. I've made decisions when I was very happy. I never turned out to be good, because if you're happy, I think it's just naturally
You're not thinking straight. Anything goes. You just just do. And then it's later when you're calm, you'll be like, oh, what have I just done?
Yeah. Like I'm just too happy. I just tell myself, just do it. Someone comes and tell me, Sharon, I need this money, just get it. I'm like, I need you to do this. Like, okay, let me do it, because I don't have that, mentality unconscious of thinking of, but is it the right thing for me to do? What if this, that, get? And most times, even after making the decision, just one day into making a decision, I start regretting, and then I'm all stressed out, and then thinking, how can I, bring back that again? And then I try to analyze the decision before again. So all those moments, like a combination of mental, the environmental pressures, past experiences. But again, when I have a lot of things at hand, makes it overwhelming for me to just pull out one decision out of the many that I'm thinking of and then go with the other. So I think that's what makes it overwhelming.
Thank you, Shan. Thank you for your contribution. So the thing is, each individual, even women, they say women are emotional. Some women, they're emotional, but they've learned over time to control their emotion, such that, for example, if you're so happy, you know not to make any decisions when you're happy because you're not thinking straight. You're not logically, in fact, you're not even logically thinking the pros, the cons, and all of that. So you have to know yourself as an individual. I know, oh, I'm very emotional. When I'm sad, I don't make this decision. When I'm angry, I dare not make that decision. When I'm so happy, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm happy. Anything goes, which I know I might regret later. So you have to, in a way, kind of caution yourself, knowing how emotional you are as a person. You know the times not to make certain decisions. When your feelings, your emotions is taking a better part of you, you know yourself that is not the right time to make any decision whatsoever. Okay. And then by the time you're even okay, your emotion is not ruling you and all of that, and this is what you've decided to do, how have you made up your mind to decide? Like you said, out of so many, you picked this particular thing. There's a reason why you've picked that out. And picking that out might be the best, might not be the best. How do you weigh it? Then you've picked one out of so many. You think this is the right decision. What makes it right? What makes it right? How does it tally with your present day life? How does it affect you positively? And then you have to look at the negative side of it, even though it might seem like a good decision. These are things you need to weigh. You need to weigh. That's why I say you need God's wisdom, because in it all, sometimes you have a decision to make, and you have A, B, C to Z as the decision to make. I mean, any one of them could be okay, but you decide to pick T. Put that T on the table and now reevaluate that T. Reevaluate it. What would T means if I do T in this situation? And then think a bit further into the future. What would that mean as well? So these are ways that you can help guide your emotions so it doesn't take a better part of you. And like I said, you need to know yourself. You need to tread carefully. You know when not to make decisions, and you stick by it. Always let your mind remind you, Shan, this is not the right time to make that decision. You're too happy. You're not thinking straight. Then pause and leave it. So that's how best I can say. Some people, every decision they have to make, they're afraid. There is not even ounce of excitement like, oh, I'm going to make this decision. I know. That's how I say we're wired differently. But you need to know yourself to know that, hey, I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. When you're afraid, just pause. Don't make decisions. Otherwise, you might regret it until you know that that fear has kind of gone down. So instead of even praying about that decision, pray that, Father, remove this fear. Let me have your peace so that I can make the right decision. So there's so many ways we can do that. I don't know if any other person would add to it, but I mean, I hope that kind of helps as well. Leslie, I'm gonna come to you because Debbie has come from the back to the front up there. So Leslie, I know you're third in the box. Good evening. Happy Monday to you. I hope you are good. You have to unmute, so Oga Leslie. I know. Good evening, Debbie.
Good evening, people. I've been enjoying the discussion.
Yeah, me too.
Good evening, everybody. It's been very good.
Good evening.
This is a very good topic. Yeah, before I even start, I think it's important to know something that decision making is not about perfection. It's about building confidence.
Yeah.
It's about getting, I think part of it is also knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, identifying with them, being realistic with yourself.
Yeah, very much.
I believe strongly. I'm a believer. So there's a strong God factor to it, but even that takes time. Where God is concerned, how, depending on your purpose, your calling, and your timeline. I would say this, that people's timelines are different. Again, comparison is something that you shouldn't do when dealing with where your life is going, what you are called to do. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. Don't judge your timelines are different. You know, it's good to learn from people. It's good to, you know, find out what works and everything, but your timelines are going to be very different.
Yeah.
You have different calls. You have different, even the way how things in terms of the timings of what works for you is going to be different, very different. So, I think one thing is be realistic with yourself. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Don't look for people's validation. That's one thing I have learned over the years. And I will just say this in terms of relationships. I think people put a lot on relationships to be perfect. I think that this is my own opinion. I have a good marriage and I'm grateful to God for that. But if you knew me before I got married, I had a lot of bad relationships. I didn't have great relationships. The one or two that went well didn't last. You know, I didn't have great relationships. I sometimes wake up and I can't believe I married this long because most people think, how did you get there? The fact is,
How are you sustaining it even?
I think sometimes I think especially in this generation, this idea that you want a risk-free, nothing is ever risk-free. You're gonna, I think sometimes you're gonna find success in maybe one or two areas strongly. And other areas you just have to manage your expectations. No human being is perfect. No human being. If you're looking at the person that has money, they might have money, but they may have a weakness in other areas. You just don't know it. And I think sometimes we have this idea that because somebody has money or whatever, or you might be strong in an area, doesn't mean you're going to be strong in all areas. A lot of times, when you see people who are well-rounded, it's because they manage their expectations. They're realistic with themselves. They've come to a place where they don't owe anybody an apology. They're just happy with who they are. They're content with themselves. I think the Apostle Paul said that, you know, that he doesn't even judge his own self. It leads that to God to judge him. You know, you got to get to a place where you are content with who you are and you are happy with that. Praise God, you can improve on everything. But at some point, you got to be content with who you are, you know, and don't compare yourself with anybody. But this idea you're going to get this risk-free relationship issue, risk-free anything, is a lie. A lot of things are just by the grace of God. A lot of things are just favor, you know. I'm grateful to God. Next year will be 19 years I'm married. But like I said, if you knew me before my marriage, I had sometimes when I think, I say, God, I don't know how you delivered me from that relationship. I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done. You know, even in business, even in terms of my business today, and when I first started out, it's two different people. Even I look at myself and I can't believe that our company is done over a decade now. Our company today now is about, I think, 8 years old now. Wow. But there's a lot of things there was lots of hits and misses. Lots of hits and misses. This idea that we're going to have risk-free because God's behind it, he can never have any problem. God was behind Joseph. He went to prison.
Was he not behind Job?
He was behind Job.
Oh,
I think we've got to get this idea that playing it safe does not mean you are working with God. And having issues or facing problems doesn't mean that God is not with you. God is with you even when you're going through hell, big trouble, sleepless nights. You know, you get the 2025. When I came to 2023, we came off a very successful project. We had money in the bank, everything was good. Came to 2023, and the best I can describe is when Paul was going in that ship, and it's like fair weather, everything was great, and then he says, I perceive this journey is going to have trouble. And it's like, nah, it's not. What do you know? You're not even a ship captain. You're a prisoner. And then they had wreckage. But that wreckage, where they eventually landed, the place called Malta, that place is a testament that Apostle Paul lead, because if you go to Malta today, everything is Paul. In fact, they have a whole statue to Apostle Paul. You know, God used that record and brought something marvelous. And that's what happened to us 2023, 2024. we faced huge, massive challenges from having a high ending 2022 on a high. By the time we came out 2024, we were in court dealing with major financial issues. We were like, all the money we had gained, we couldn't believe it. And in the midst of that, we were buying a property. In the midst of this whole hell we were dealing with. And then 2025 happened, and we woke up 2025. I remember the first day of 2025, January 1st, we're like, there's no courts, there's no issue at dealing with money. And we're like, there's no battle. And who are we now? We've been fighting this thing for 2 years. What I'm trying to say is that this idea that we're going to have risk-free this thing is not realistic. But voila is not every day. This we are 2025 has now been a year that we began to find a level of stability, and we're picking up. We've just, like I said, we just finished one business. We're preparing for it. We're now in a pre-arrangement for a digital business now. We're preparing for one right now, and it's taking a lot of time. And this venture we're doing today has been a venture that came to me about 13 years ago. We're only just doing that because the technology was not there that is now available. That venture is now available because the technology is available to do that venture today. You know, so
just make sure you brush your teeth. Okay, we'll brush our teeth though.
The waiting, the decision making, it takes time. There's a process to it. I think we want perfection so badly that we think I can't get it wrong, and ultimately you're just playing it safe. There's a level of risk, and I would say manage expectations, but don't be afraid to step out, because reality is, even though we went through that hell, the opportunities we are facing today came from that period.
The decisions you made
business today came from that, came in that season. A lot of the legal stuff that we are enjoying today came from that season of court everything. So yeah, you can make a great decision and it might not work out well, and you can make a decision that you think this is not going to work, and it could be the next best thing. You just don't know. Yes, we believe God. I am a very strong believer in God. In fact, the things I've gone through have made me like me and God. If you're not in it, I'm not going. No. But that does not mean that you're not going to face trouble. Even Moses said that statement. Did he enter the promised land? He didn't enter the promised land, even though he said that statement that unless you go, I'm not going. But we look at what God did. Long after he had passed away, he's one of the few people that came from God just did a miracle. He met Jesus live. Him and Elijah met Jesus. I mean, who have that kind of testimony? Sometimes God can do some crazy things just because he can see you trust him, and you have not. And another thing I would say is, even when you get it wrong, don't be blaming people. Say, God, I missed it. This thing didn't work out with God. Help me redeem the situation. I'm telling you, let me say something. I feel like we have this idea because it's God, it's going to be perfect. It's
perfect all the time. All the time.
It's not going to be. If God made Adam and Eve and they blew it, did God say, I'm not doing it again? He worked with that difficulty. He worked with that process because he doesn't give up because something went wrong. And I think we get in this place where it's like, if God is in it, I can't get it wrong. I can't get it. I'm not saying please go and be getting it wrong anyhow. Please, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that there's a level of risk to these things. It's not going to be some perfect all these things. And you can have a great run as well. And that could be good as well. But what I've learned, what I've seen, is that oftentimes some of the strongest lessons, some of the strongest things that give us come out from very great difficulties. And when you see someone enjoying something or they're experiencing something great, you need to go and check the foundation. You need sometimes the risks they have taken for them to do that a lot of people can't take. A lot of people won't take it. We often look at some of these billionaires and everything, and we don't go into the nitty-gritty and the processes and the years a lot of them have taken to get there. Not all of them. I'm not
all
going to
say all the decision makings,
but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of aspects that we don't look. All we don't see is the money they make. We don't actually see the processes, the ins and outs, the amounts of money they've lost as well. Some of the money people have lost, some of them have not seen that in their lifetime, and they've lost it. They've actually lost that money. It went. But in that situation, something unique came out from that process system that actually gave rise to something else better. So I'm saying that yes, it's good to pray, get informed, but at some point you got to step out and try it. Try it in a small scale, try it in a little scale, and don't be looking for people. And for me, another thing I've learned is that make sure you have good people around you as well. Make sure you have a team. Don't be doing life on your own. Don't be solo. Not everything. So make sure you try to have people that can help you, that can mentor you, that can advise you. Ultimately, you're going to make the decisions. I've made decisions. I've had to live with those decisions, but they've made me a better person in the process. And like I keep saying, people say, "Oh yeah, I have a good marriage," but I keep telling them that if you see my foundation, it went all that great. It wasn't that great. I had a lot of relationships, and a lot of people think, without relationship is hard. But here I am, and I'm grateful to God. But it didn't. Even my wife and I, the year we want to get married, we were denied. We had to wait another 2 more years. So it didn't even work out immediately. It didn't even work out like, okay, we have met each other, we're happy. There was still another 2 years because of all family issue, people that were like against us getting married, But we stuck with it. And here we are.
Thank God you eventually made that decision to marry your wife.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And it wasn't straight. It wasn't a straightforward, everything just worked out well. And I know people who had better material positions, everything than us, that are not together anymore, that had all the support, everything, and they're not together today. They're not. So I can't determine what works and what. But what I found is that one of the things I would say again, please don't be blaming people for when things go wrong, because it doesn't actually help you learn anything. And even if something went wrong that wasn't your fault, ask God to help redeem it. Find out what you can, but don't be if this had worked. Don't do that. God will help you. Just take responsibility, learn your lesson, move on. And you don't know what will succeed, but waiting for everything to be perfect, waiting for everything to be working out well.
Do anything.
No. Even I think King Solomon said in the book of Ecclesiastes, if you're waiting for the right time to sow, you will not sow. You won't sow. You won't sow. So yes, be informed, do the work, find out what needs to be done, but you got to step out. And I think sometimes people want to get, if the person I'm going to marry, I must know is good, but sometimes it comes out from talking to people, and something eventually, if they told me I was going to marry my wife today, when I first met her probably 3-4 years, and I didn't even think she was even going to be the one. I was talking to other people. If I was actually in a full-blown relationship when I first saw her, it was another 3 years. And then it took another 2 years.
Wow.
So 5 years in total. And I was if you're going to go by that logic, we wouldn't even be together today. So I'm just saying that sometimes we're waiting for everything to be right. It doesn't necessarily. I feel that it's the consistency. It's you just taking that path, working, learning the lesson, and I found out the more you actually get better at becoming more and more confident in your decision-making process, the better you will be in terms of knowing that this works, this doesn't work, and knowing how to manage the risks when they do come in, how to mitigate them as well. You will start learning other factors that you wouldn't necessarily learn if you hadn't stepped out. It's kind of like I say, it's learning how to swim. I'll leave it there. I hope that helps somebody.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I answered the question as well.
Yeah, in a way you've blended the two kind of. So thank you for that. Shan, is at what point would you involve external party in a decision you want to make, and who? So first off, it depends on what decision you're trying to make. Say, for example, this thing with relationship, the first thing is, at what point would you involve external party? You've met this person, well, at some point you meet their relatives, you meet people they know, and they also want to meet you, meet the people you know, and things like that. And then in the process, you will know that, okay, this person, do you see future with them? Do you not? And if, for example, you see a future with them, but you're not sure, what would you do? That's why I said seek godly counsel. Maybe you have a prayer partner, you might have to start praying on a big level. You have a spiritual mentor, you can speak with them, and the friend of this person as well. Get closer to them, try to find out one or two things. And again, do not ignore red flags, because sometimes red flags, your friends may tell you about red flags, maybe when you're sharing stuff with them, and they will tell you this and that, if this is happening, this and that, so it depends on what decision you're trying to make, and then that will depend on who you get involved with helping you making that decision. You have best girlfriends, and they've seen this person with you, and they're telling you that this person is pretending that they love you, but they don't love you. You don't just ignore that, because you've made a decision to be in a relationship with this person, and hopefully if this decision, the decision is good, and this person too is good, it may lead to something serious like a marriage. But because it's a lifelong commitment, you don't just decide that, oh, I'm in love, okay, let's just go and marry. We'll tell everybody, and people are telling you stuff, you're not listening to them. How much more if God is not even speaking to you? How would you even hear God? So it depends on the decision. That if it's husband and wife thing, you may have to discuss with your girlfriends, your boyfriends as well, to give you, what is it called? You sample opinions from them. This is what you've observed. Is it good quality? Is it bad quality? Do you think I should be worried or whatever? And if your parents are there, I mean, you can open up to your parents. I'm dating this person, but this is what I'm having concerns with, because there's no perfect person. There's some things that it's okay in a way. Maybe we're still growing, they might outgrow certain things, but you never even can tell. But when it's a major thing you've observed, you now have to decide, is this going down well with me right now in this relationship? You need to decide, I don't like this. You've said it once, twice, three times, and it's like they're just ignoring you. You would have to decide if you want to carry on with this relationship based on 1, 2, 3, or whatever it is. Like I always say, give people benefit of the doubt. Don't just break it off because you can break it off. Sit with them, whatever you have decided that, okay, this particular behavior or particular thing or whatever it is, talk with them maybe once, twice. And if you see that they're not bulging, they're not changing, you now have to sit down and make that decision. Are you ready to live with this? Because you're thinking forever. Can you live with this thing forever? You have to make up your mind. So it depends. And it could be a career change. They've always known you as a media person or whatever, but something is pulling you towards hospitality, for example, and you're thinking, you're confused. What do you do? Research. Go find out about hospitality. You find out everything about hospitality as much as possible, and you think to yourself, I can relate. This goes with me. And then you decide to swap or transition into that hospitality. You're ready to go, maybe training. You're ready to, get as much as possible regarding hospitality. Some things you may have to decide with yourself. Some things other people that do not know you might help you decide, in terms of going out there on the internet and finding research about hospitality. They will feed you information, and this will help, make up your mind. You decide if you want to do it or you just remain where you are. So it depends, really. There is no, except to give me a particular thing and then we can actually look at that intently, or otherwise that's how it might roll. And in the multitude of counsel, they say there is safety. So just be mindful that you have positive-minded people around you if you have to seek their opinion about things. So I don't know if that answers you. I was going to come to Kenneth. I see he's dropped. Is it TikTok dropping you, sir?
I don't know what is going on.
But at least you're here now. Grace, I've just sent you an invitation, or I've accepted your invitation. So I don't know if it will bring you up. I don't know what's going on.
Is it my turn now?
Yes, it's your turn. Good evening, sir. Happy Monday to you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, host. Thank God once again
Thank
for
God.
this gathering. Where do I start for making decision making?
Yeah, so why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times?
Decision making. One of the things that God has put in every woman is for you to make decision for yourself. If you cannot make decision for yourself, people will make it for you, and when they make it for you, they're going to make it for you in the wrong way, in the narrative that you
Not
don't
necessarily
want,
in the wrong way, maybe in their own way.
in their own way,
Yeah.
whether it's wrong or whether it's right.
Yeah.
But one of the things that my experience of making decision, I find out that at times we make the right decision, but at times we make the wrong one, that at the end of it become the right one. That is why I don't see decision making when it go wrong. Don't blame yourself. Learn for it. Take what you learn for it and move on. Because I remember definitely when I first came to Europe, that was 2002. All my plans, all my motive is to be somebody that have this business of transportation, which I was so passionate about it. But one thing is for you to have passionate about something. Another thing is the people that you leave it in the care, because they don't have that mind that you have. So make a decision. You already make that decision that this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to establish myself with. So I decided to be shipping cars to Nigeria buses. Then my senior brother say, okay, now I will be in charge. But you don't have that plan that I have. You misuse everything. At the end of it, I go bankrupt. I lose everything. To the extent, he went to Jan commissioner of Delta State by then, the motor, and all of a sudden we lost the driver, which the commissioner asked me to do the bearer everything before they can release my bosses by them, which I did. I learned a lot from that mistake that I make, because I thought it's the right decision that I was making, but I never knew that having that decision in mind is for you to have the same people that have the mindset like you. When you make a decision, if the people around you, they don't have the mindset, there is no way you can fulfill that making of that decision. That is why you must have people around you that have a positive mindset like you. After some years, I went to borrow some money, which my wife was not happy with me, about 7.5, and I sent all to Africa. My wife, till today, she's still angry with me because I just finished paying the money this June 2025, 2020 to 2025, which she was not happy with me to borrow that money to do that thing. But I thought it's going to be a good decision. But at the end of it, I lose everything. So I learned the hard way. And today now, I'm happy because those things have become past tense for me. But the things that I've learned is the decision that I make the wrong one. But I'm happy today because I make those decisions. Even though those things did not come the way I want it, I've learned for it. There are some certain things now, if you tell me to invest on, if I don't have the clue about it, I'm not going to invest on it because I've already learned the hard way. So for me, making of decision is one thing that God has put in everybody. It can go your way, it can go the right way, it can go the wrong way. But whether it's good, whether it's bad, don't feel that you make the wrong decision, because people always say, why me? I don't know, Because if it goes your way, you will be happy, you will be rejoicing that you have a profit, you'll be happy that you make it. But when it goes the wrong way, we women, we always complain. We always say, why me, God? But God will make you to make that decision. We put that in your mind, but it will not be the one to establish. You are the one to carry it out. So people at times do blame God, but God is not inside of that decision that you are making. You make that personal decision. That is why you need to sit yourself down, look for people that have wisdom, look for people that are in that thing that you want to do, look for people that have been there before, look for people that can counsel you so that you don't go in the wrong way. Even in marriage, in business, in everything in life, you must make decision, and the decision can lift you up or the decision can bring you down. So me, I don't see anything that the decision making is wrong. It's not a wrong thing, but the only thing you must learn something for every decision we make here on net. You must learn something for it. It's either the positive way or the negative way. So that is why decision making is very, very important to me. It's very, very important. I don't want to say that I make every wrong decision. At times I blame myself, but at the end of it, I always give glory to God, that God, I make the decision. It did not go the way that I wanted to go, but all times, all honor go to you. I've learned for this and I improve in this, and this is what I want to do now. So that is why every time for me, for my own, I only write every plans that go well and the one that go well, I learn for those things. So that is why decision making is very, very important for me. And I've learned for the decision that I make that did not went well, I've learned for the one that I make that went well. So all glory at the end, all be ascribed unto the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Decision making is very, very important to all women. Try and make decision for yourself, because if people make it for you, they're going to make it for you the way you don't like it. That is why it's good for you to make it yourself. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You know, and as you were talking, Kenneth, I was just picturing, what you just shared. And sometimes your decision is the right decision, but because you've engaged the wrong people, you've decided to engage the wrong people, and it makes your overall decision a mess. Imagine that idea, you decided you want to do that, and you find the right key people. I bet that business will still be in existence. It will still be existing today. So you can see that one decision might lead to another decision. A right decision, you can go and decide the wrong thing to backing it up. It might just mess up the whole thing altogether. So what are we saying? Thank you so much sharing what you have learned. In engaging the wrong people sometimes might make your decision look so bad, because the outcome would definitely be bad because you've engaged the wrong set of people. So the last times a friend made a decision for me, it almost destroyed me. Because the thing is, human beings naturally were selfish. We will look at things from our own point of view. Nobody, in fact, that's why even when God gives each person a vision, and you surround yourself with people who don't carry vision, who don't know nothing about, they will destroy you and that vision if care is not taken. Look at the story of Joseph, for example. So imagine you have that vision, that idea. I mean, it's a good thing you've decided to do. Go into business. Of course, a good thing. What business? This business. Even if you don't have a clue, but you have the drive to go into that particular business, and you just feel, my brother, this my sister will help, and all of that. And in the process of deciding who is going to help you with it, you decide wrongly. It will impact on your overall decision. And that's what we're saying here. So we need to be mindful. If you don't trust somebody enough, because even the one you trust enough, sometimes something can go wrong and they will just mess you up. Even that requires prayers, when you decide, I'm going to engage this person, I'm going to involve that person, pray still that there will be the good arms that will support you, that will keep you there, not the ones that will even destroy everything altogether, because it's very, very important. And it doesn't mean that your number one decision is wrong. It's just because you've decided to engage the wrong people. So we need to be mindful who we are surrounded with, who is supporting us, who is, pretending to be there, but they're not there, and things like that. So thank you so much for that story you shared with us. It's a true life story. We heard it. So whatever it is we are trying to decide on, please be mindful, especially when your decision has to do with other people as well. Please be mindful, because it can really backfire on you. I don't know now. I think that's as far as I can remember. People who came in. So I'm just going to pick randomly, and apologies to anyone. I don't want anyone to stay too long in the box without speaking. So I'm going to come to I don't know, Debbie or House View. I don't know whether you got here before Debbie or Debbie got here before you. You guys will have to help me, please. Oh, who got here first? House View, is it you or Debbie? Oh, Debbie did. Okay. Elder Debbie, good evening. Charisma, I see you. Good evening to you. Good evening, Debbie. We're not talking about marriage today, so at least I know you will mute and talk. I hope your day has gone great. That's if you're home already. Oh, okay. House View is, Debbie is saying House View. You see, you're saying Debbie is a regular. Maybe we should let House View talk. It's been a while. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. House View, good evening to you. Let's let you speak, and then we'll go to Debbie. Long time no see.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How have you been?
Been good, thank you.
Oh, well. Emily, I see you.
Your topic today also resonates with my
Hey.
absence for a while, because it has been on a reflective journey and decision making for me as well. So
Okay.
I've been a little bit away from TikTok, but yeah, good to be
It's
back,
good.
and good
It's
to see
good
you
to
all.
see you, and thank you for deciding to come on Insights tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so you've heard from one or two, three people, and I don't know if you heard any of my talk as well, but this is our talk for today, decision making. Why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times, and how can you tell you're rushing a decision instead of discerning it? So whichever one you want to start with, or if it's not even part of these questions you want to start with, please feel free to share with us.
Okay, healthy decision is rooted on open dialogue.
Okay.
When you have conversations with your partner, or just person, or on a solo basis, just open dialogue within yourself, within the partner. And there are sometimes also you may have to seek there are also sometimes you may have to seek
Counsel.
guidance from other people, mentors, or colleagues who have been in the field before you, just to also know that your decisions are in check and are well planned. But also, I want to talk about like decisions that are made outside of God's purpose and God's will. We have to sometimes align our decisions with God's purpose, and that means surrendering our personal controls and seeking divine wisdom, and allowing God's choice to reflect in our decision, in our character, and also in His mission for our life. If you look at the popular verse, Jeremiah 2:29-11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you." And so God already had a plan for
Good
us. So
evening, Barry.
whenever we have challenges, or we have things that are overwhelming us, we have to also go back to Him in prayers, go back to Him in surrendering to His wills and also His purpose for our life, and seeking God's
Yeah.
God's plan for that circumstances. and asking him to help us to make the right decision. I've also talked about seeking counsel from people who are mature, and seeking counsel also from God Himself. God speaks to us in different ways when we immerse in His Scripture, when we immerse in prayers, calling on His name, asking for His direction. He actually comes through, can come through um, um, a vision. It can come through in our dreams, and so
He can actually send people to you, you know that.
yeah, it can actually send. Yes, yes. I also, or probably through our partners, when you people, before making that decision or taking another step, you can actually come together in prayer and ask God. God can either show Himself up to either of you through dreams, and that's why I said earlier that this decision is an open thing. It should be an open dialogue, and people should prioritize decision based on expertise. There are people who are good in particular things. So your partner can be good with this specific thing, whilst you can be good in this other thing. So you can also delegate things based on that expertise. So decision is not solely on, oh, I am the head of the house, or I am the man in the house, or this. No, you can actually delegate this based on expertise. You are good in this one. Okay, why not take the lead? Why not make a decision? Because obviously you are good in that. So open dialogue, having conversations, and seeking God's plans and purpose for us in our decisions will actually help us to make the right one. So that's my submission.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, take it to the Lord in prayer, because sometimes it gets so, even some simple decisions that you don't even need to pray about. Take it to the Lord in prayer so that you're definitely sure that this decision, is not going to come back and haunt you, so to say. Thank you, House View, and it's good again to see you. Please don't be a stranger on Insight. So, Elder Debbie, I'm going to come to you. Good evening, and thank you so much for allowing House View go first. Thank you. After I say I didn't thank you. Please, let's hear you. Good evening, Debbie. Let's hear you.
Good evening, my lady.
How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Week.
Thank you. In fact, one more week and this month is gone. Hey.
Can you imagine?
Wow. What you
We
have to
enter,
do quick.
we enter 2026.
Amen, Lord. Amen. We will enter by the grace of God. Amen.
Okay.
So, yeah. Let's hear your views on decision making. Why do you think decision making feels overwhelming at times? And then again, how can you tell when you're rushing in a decision, or instead of discerning it before making it, so to say?
Wow. I think when it comes to decision, it's been overwhelming. Depends on the level of the decision.
Yeah.
It depends on the level of what you are making decision on. Let me rephrase.
Oh, exactly. That's true. 30 days.
That depends on what you are making decision on will determine if it will be overwhelming, if it will be easy, if you can make it quickly or not. So, and when it comes to decision, I believe there are some things we have to decide on.
Yeah.
That you don't have time to think about it.
Yeah.
There's some things you have to take your time, think about it, pray about it, ask God for direction. God will only direct you, only lead you. but He will not make the decision for you.
Mm.
God will never make make the decision for you. He will lead you. He will prompt you. He will direct you. He can send people to you, depend on how your relationship is with God.
Yeah.
Will not make that decision for you. The mistake a lot of people make is, God, please help me make this decision. It will not make that decision for you, because in the first place, God expects you, because you have brain, to think about the consequence of the decision before you make them, either good or bad. The day you make the decision, the day the consequence is born. The day you make that decision, the day you start thinking about it, the day the consequence of that decision is sitting beside you, be it good or bad. And you can decide it, you can determine the decision. You can't determine the consequence.
Wow.
You can determine what you are deciding on. You can decide to do whatever you want to do, but the consequence, you cannot determine it. And when it will come, you cannot determine it.
Maybe not fully. I mean, if you have foresight, God helping you.
Some consequence that you think this is how they will come.
Mm.
But the way they will come, they won't come in the way you expect. You expect them to come.
Fully, yeah.
You know that if you sleep, if they tell you don't go and sleep with a man outside wedlock, you sleep. You know it's two things that will happen to you. What will not happen? God help you, he end up with a baby. The suffer you will suffer, at least depend on how God will have mercy on you. But you now carry the other one.
What do you mean the other one?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Well, look, people are listening, so you have to be explicit.
It's either you carry a baby or you carry a baby.
Okay.
There are some living baby. There are some baby that are living inside.
I even thought you wanted to say maybe disease or something.
That's what I mean by the other one.
Then say it now. Say it as it is, please.
Because what I'm trying to say here is, you made the decision, you took the action, but the consequence of that, you don't determine it.
Of course not. Yeah.
You don't determine it. It's just that the day you make the decision, the same day the consequence is born. So when it comes to decision, it's something I think we should be very, very careful in making, very prayerful in making any kind of decision, be it career, be it life, especially marriage. I use the word especially marriage because that can actually ruin every other thing you have built. If you go the other way. So whatever decision you are making, it needs you to be very discerning.
Yeah.
Very discerning, very prayerful. Everybody can advise you.
Not everybody.
Everybody can advise you when it comes to making decision. Either to do it or not to do it. But when the consequences come,
you have to live with it.
Everybody will not be there to bear it with you. If they advise you to do business, sleepless nights, you are the only one that will have sleepless nights. They advise you to do courses. The time to read, you are the only one that will do it. So you have to think about it even when people are advising you. They advise you to go and marry. It's you that will pay the bills and go through everything. Think about it before you go in. So when it comes to decision, people can advise you, yes. But you sit down and ask yourself. Because when it's time to pay the price, they will only pray for you. The same way they've been praying for you to make the decision, it's the same way they will be praying for you. And at the
What
end
are you scattering there, Debbie?
Oh, I'm just trying to clean up everything to go and sleep after this.
Okay, all right.
So
there is responsibility connected to every decision.
It's better for you to pray.
Yeah.
Wait until you have the conviction. Wait till you have the commission. But there are still some decisions that requires emergency response. So you don't have time to wait that much. So you have to be very discerning in that. That's why
Andrew, I see you.
that's why you have to be in a very good relationship with your God. Because you can pray immediately and ask God to help you quickly to make that decision. So depend on the level of decision. Decision is good, but think about the consequence first before you make it. Think about it very well. Think about the sleepless nights. Think about everything, the prices you will pay. Because for every decision, like Elder Leslie said, it's not me that said it. Oh, I'm just reading what he said. He said there is responsibility connected to every decision. You get it? So for every decision you make, you bear the consequence.
All by yourself.
All by yourself. Even if your spouse, your children are with you, they will go through it with you. Depends on the if you make decision on your finance now and you turn everybody homeless. So there are some decisions that you make and everybody will suffer with you. It's just that you will bear the most of it.
Yeah.
You will bear the most of it. So decision is good, but let's think about it very well. Think about the consequence. Drink water on it. Sleep on it. Pray on it, and God will help us.
So the second question is, how can you tell?
Okay.
How can you tell when you're rushing a decision instead of discerning it?
Sometimes you are not the one that is.
Stanley, I see you.
It's not me that said it. Oh,
you are the sum total of every decision you make. Hey, whether influenced by external people or not.
Yes. When it comes to rushing a decision, if you are losing your peace,
come up, let's hear your views.
If you are making a decision and for some reason you are losing your peace on that matter, check it very well. You are not discerning it. You are being manipulated. You can be by human being. It can be by whatever.
Even you yourself,
whatever. You are for some reason you are being put under pressure. Check it very well. Check it very, very well. If you are already for me, anything I have to do that, I'm already losing my peace. That when people say, "Oh, we need to do this thing," and for some reason, I'm already feeling this agitated. I'm like, okay, I already know this thing might not end well. So I know that I'm already rushing into making that kind of decision. And like I said, there are some decisions that needs you to rush in making it.
Yeah. It's
maybe life or something like that. Yes. But if it's not something like that,
life threatening.
If it's not life threatening, if they are asking you to pay some money and for some reason you are losing your peace of mind, think very well. The Lord is our helper. Last part in Yoruba, not everybody will quote me.
I'll have to translate because not everybody.
They didn't hear it from me.
Not everybody understand that's your language, Joe.
That's why I said it in the language everybody will not understand. If you now translate it, that means they didn't hear it from me. They heard it from you.
On your behalf.
No.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Debbie, don't put me in trouble. Thank you. It was one. Huh?
I'm trying.
I see. You're trying to put me in trouble.
No.
Is that the decision you have made now to come and put me in trouble?
My decision is to save you from trouble. That's why I use the language people will not understand.
Exactly. See, you're told that you're in the public space. It's not everybody that understands certain language, and that's why we're speaking in. Imagine me come on inside. I'm just speaking Yoruba only. There's only so much people I'm going to draw to this
That
place.
is the thing. I did not speak only Yoruba. It was just a phrase that came in that
What did
language.
you say? Say that phrase again.
I can't remember.
Not this woman.
I can't remember.
This is not Gbasgbos topic. You'll be amazed what people can turn to Gbasgbos. Anyways, thank you, Debbie, for your submission. One of the things I really emphasized when I was giving my talk is this peace we're talking about. If you don't have peace in whatever decision, even if you've made the decision and you find out that you're just feeling this restlessness, you're not feeling that peace, I would advise you can pause. If it's not life threatening like it said, you can actually pause and reflect, pray some more, and that peace must be there, even though the thing might be a chaotic situation, but you still feel the peace somewhat. I don't know how to explain it, because I've experienced this so many times. You would experience that peace in the midst of the chaos, and then you know that, okay, you've decided this and it's okay. So that peace is very important, very crucial. Whether big decision, whether small decision, whether life-changing or life-threatening, that peace really has to be there. Because I shared my one, when I had to decide, either they remove the machine from my sister or they it was the toughest decision. And I'm like, hey, if I say yes now, everybody in the family will say it's for me that said, I was thinking of all of that. But at the end of the day, I've been told by the hospital, even if I don't make that decision, they would have to make it on our behalf. So either way, decision has to be made. It was tough, it was hard, but I had to hear what is my father saying to me. Because at that time, honestly, I could not make any decision. But that was life-threatening in a way, because she was on a life support machine, and I had to decide whether they take it off or they, But anyways, sometimes it's not that. It could be simple decision making. It could even be as simple as buying a car. You want this particular car, you want that. Weigh it. This one, the long run. How long do you want to use this car for? Is it going to last you for that 5 years? Or is it going to bring trouble? If you have to replace parts, is it very expensive? Can you afford it? Those are the things you look at. Say, for example, now you want to buy that car. And then you decide, but I love this one. Boys, I can't manage it. Be real with yourself. Make the right decision. It's for you to go from zone A to zone B. Will this car take you there peacefully? Or you want to, show off to the world knowing your capacity or capabilities? So sometimes people make decisions based on flimsy things. And that is them weighing things and they're not being reasonable. This one now, whether it's feeling, I'm going to categorize it under, you're feeling, people will look down on you, or you're feeling, this one will not enter this status, what do you call it now? This zone, or this one will not enter this friendship level or whatever. Because you think your friend were busy, of all cars, you bought this one, that. Are they going to give you money to buy spare parts? Are they going to give you money to maintain it? Are they going to give you money? Even if they do, are they going to keep up with it? So you have that decision to make. Look, no status quo here. I don't want to be like the Joneses. Let me do what I know I'm capable of, being comfortable with. So you have to decide. You really have to decide. Imagine you buy the one that you cannot handle, and then something goes wrong. You're like, hey, you go and knock on door A. You people, you were there. Oh, this car you say I should buy, now it's giving me trouble, whatever it is. So it could be as simple as buying a car. It could be as simple as getting that new job. In what area? It could be as simple or as hard. I don't know. It depends for who really having that child. It could be decision making, saying yes to that man, saying yes to that woman. It could be a decision making to even say no to that man, no to that woman. It could be a decision making of saying, okay, I'm not going to relocate. So it depends really. But all in all, You get advice, you don't get advice, whatever it is, you have to discern, you have to think about it, you have to ponder on it, you have to make that decision. And if it goes well, you're going to enjoy the reward. And if it doesn't go well, you enjoy the same, you enjoy that as well and learn from it. Like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard. Learn from mistakes and, pass the knowledge on to other people. And when such situation arises again, you will know what kind of decision to make. And sometimes, things kind of have a way of repeating itself. And you have to make either the same decision again or learn that, I made that decision last time. It's not okay. But you really have to judge now, because the same decision might actually be right, but because of past experience, I made that decision, it didn't go well, and you say, I'm not even going to. Now you're allowing your feelings of past mistakes or past hurt to guide you in this new decision making. So these things it could be trickish. That's why you have to have your faculties, intact when you're making decisions. Don't let feelings, emotions rule you. You need feelings, you need emotion, but you need wisdom. Wisdom is profitable to direct. That's what my Bible says. So I'm going to come to who else? I think everybody have spoken, actually. Somebody dropped off. I don't know who was. Okay. I think somebody dropped off anyway. So I think that might just be it. Yeah, we could do 2.5 hours today. I don't know if anybody wants to add more before we round. Oh, I have a puzzle for us. This time around is a real puzzle. A real puzzle, not the tongue twister, because I just felt, hey, people are running away because of the tongue twister. Do you want to say something?
I wanted to say something, yeah, because I
Please.
just remembered something I think that will help with some of this. Again, I was saying that we are not going, we don't live in a perfect world. There are going to be decisions that will be made that might not be in our best interest or something.
Yeah.
But I found that everything that we go through with God's wisdom and His help, you actually can let even the difficult ones or the bad ones can work out for you. That's why the Bible says everything works together for good to those who are called and love God.
Yeah, they do.
And I want to bring up something that I remember that when I was young, I went through a series of being bullied in school here in England, especially in secondary school. And I remember the things that I experienced, the difficulty, how those things were handled. And then my second child in school now is in first year in secondary school. And something happened that he was now being bullied, but not like me. My own was just trouble. But that experience of what I went through as a child, I was able to help him navigate that thing so well that we were able to nip that thing in the bud, to the point that even the boy that was even doing the nonsense, when he saw me, he knew that, these people are serious. So. And it was because of what I went through and that experience that helped deal with my own son's situation. And I was thinking that if I hadn't gone through that situation, that experience, I wouldn't have known how to have dealt with his experience of being bullied at school, to the point where the guy has answered everything when he saw how we responded to that situation, because I didn't get that support as a child. So I knew exactly what needed to be done. What I'm saying is that bad experience for me became a life support situation and a great experience to help my own child. Wow. So sometimes we are going through something, we're thinking this, that, and the third, but we don't know what God is going to use that situation for. Especially, I keep saying that as a believer, God is a redeemer. Everything can be redeemed by the grace of God. And so that's what I'm just sharing here, that sometimes you're going through something, but that thing has a purpose.
Yep.
If you commit it to God, it has a purpose. And I wasn't a Christian when I was going through that thing. But boy, did it help us today. Where what I went through that lasted years, only a few months, everything was done here. It didn't even take up to 2 months. Everything was done and dusted because of the experience that I was able to bring to dealing with this problem in my son's secondary school. And that's why I'm saying that if nothing, this fear of, oh, I don't want to make mistake, I don't want to. I'm telling you, even if you don't make mistake, don't do anything still can still be a problem as well.
Of course.
Peter stepped on that water. None of the disciples can say they stepped on water, even though he almost drowned. But none of the disciples had that experience. None of them had that experience. So yes, we can play safe, but I believe strongly as a believer, we're not called to just play things safe. Sometimes I believe you must take and I'm saying if you're doing the right thing, if you're doing your homework, I'm not saying go and gamble, play lottery. I'm not saying that. Whatever you are called to do, but step out, even if it doesn't work out the first time, the second time, if it's what God wants you to do, it's going to work. It will work. At some point, that thing will happen. And it's the experiences you have that will build. There are some certain principles that you have today, my hostess. And because of the things you have gone through. If you didn't go through those things, you will not have some principles now that have put you in good stead to handling the people you are dealing with today. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
If you didn't go through those hardships, today that you are enjoying you and everything, if you hadn't gone through those difficulties, you won't be able to do the things or even handle people the way you're handling them today. You won't. That's what I mean. I hope that helps somebody.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. You see, sometimes everybody's afraid to make mistakes. Well, I want to believe so. Everybody's afraid to make mistakes. But you're learning from other people's mistakes. So how is that possible? In fact, no matter how cultures we are, we're still going to make certain mistakes. And that's why I'm saying that it shouldn't be the end of us, really. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. You think God is not there whilst you're making that mistake? So every achievement will require sacrifice. Of course. Some things, they don't come easy. Is either sacrificial, it will cost you something, time, energy, effort, money, sleep even. It will cost you something, but at the end of the day, you find out that you're all good for it, you're better for it. I mean, there's certain things I learned from my parents, not that they even taught me. You sit down and think about your life growing up, certain things, and you're like, man, I've decided, no, I'm not going to be this kind of a parent to my children. I'm not going to be this, it's your decision. Likewise, I could sit down and say, you know what? My parents showed me pepper. I will show my children pepper times 2. Some people are doing that. They've decided to do that. They're taking all of that out on their own children. And then you find out that is that how to build that relationship with your child? Of course not. That's why sometimes you'll see some older people and you pity them. But if you know the story, sometimes you'll not even pity them. I'm sorry to say this. Because the atrocities, the decisions they've made in their youthful days, and now is impacted the children in a negative way that they do not want to care whether they're alive or not, for the life of them. And these are things that making decisions. My question is, why do people make bad decisions, knowingly or unknowingly? You've just answered yourself. They knowingly make bad decisions and sometimes unknowingly make bad decisions. The thing is, in my eye, I may feel like this person has been pushing me and pushing me. In my eye, I decided the next time they say stuff or whatever, I'm going to hit them. I have decided to do that. But people passerby or passers-by, whatever now, they're watching, all they see is me hitting this person. They don't know what has led to that. And they'll say, look at this person who decided to hit somebody. Everybody will judge you or whatever. But imagine it's just happening. They've been saying stuff and I'm like, how do I stop them? And unknowingly, I just hit them. Unknowingly, I've hit them, but I have decided I've just done that because I could have stopped my hand before the thing would touch them. So sometimes some people, because they are wicked at heart, they will knowingly do something, decide to hurt you, decide to do whatever. And some people, in the process of even helping, unknowingly, they can hurt you. So these things, there is no, I don't know how to put it, there is no white and black sometimes. But decision is decision. Whether they make it, whether it's it's a wicked decision as it appears to people, or is their decision, they've decided to make that decision. Some people, like I said, that unknowing one is a mistake we're talking about, because at that time they've decided to do something they thinking this is the best decision to make, and unknown to them, yeah, it's the wrong decision, and they have to face the consequences as well. So these things happen, and God is still in there. It's one of the things I was saying to a client. God knows that this time you'll be confused about this, you would want to do this. He's in there with you. Don't think, oh, especially when you now make bad decisions or bad choices, God is still there with you. Is he guiding you? Of course, he's still there, because he knows that by the time you make that decision, you're hurting, you're crying. He's there, open arms to comfort you still. So God is still in the matter, but we need to be wise. We need to be wise, saying that you don't knowingly now just go and put yourself, into that decision. This person has done that business, they've succeeded. That person have done it, they've succeeded. What is the assurance that when you go into it, you will succeed? Just because you think one or two have succeeded. What if you go into it and it ruins you completely? You could never tell. So sometimes people make decisions based on external situations, but at the end of the day, you are the one making that decision. You will suffer for it, or you'll be blessed for it. So let us be wise in our decision making. It's very important. Have discernment of spirit. And like I always say, please do not rush into certain things. Take your time. Like Debbie, I think it was Debbie that said, if it's not life threatening, take your time. Sometimes you have to pause. When you even make that decision and that piece is gone, just pause still. If it's not something you've done already, if it's something that you can actually withdraw from, pause, reflect, rethink, check all the checkables, and be sure, because you need that inner peace. Otherwise, you made that decision, you're losing sleep already, you can't eat, it shouldn't be. Then that means that decision probably is not the right one. So we need to be mindful. So there's no human who's made good decisions 100% all the time. Oh, definitely not. There is no that person. We all have an innate, imperfect nature that is tied to our humanness. Definitely. Thank you, Baritone, for your submission as well. So, but the people who make good decisions are human too. Of course, they're human too. Wealth of experience would matter. Some people, they're in their 40s and the wealth of experience, in fact, it will stand to be like an experience for a 70-year-old person. But age really does not determine these things. It's what they have gone through, how they've lived life, maybe their location, the people they're surrounded by, and all of that. So it doesn't really matter. Good people make bad choices, and bad people make good choices. Where do you want to fit that? Let me ask you. I tried to invite you up. Stanley, what do you make of that? Just like good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. How do you explain that as well? Yeah, we're all human. And those people who make good decisions, go ask them. They will tell you there are bad times when they've had bad decisions as well. So they're not an embodiment of good decisions all the time. No, they will tell you. Stanley, good evening. Thank you for coming up. Well, I really want to hear from you. If you have a question, there's loads of people here to answer, not just me. Good evening and welcome. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. Thank you. Though I don't have time, let me just say one or two things.
Yeah.
Thank you for the privilege. Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Good evening, everyone. I asked a question and you didn't give me the right answer. You
Okay,
said, why
maybe.
do people make bad decisions? Maybe consciously or unconsciously. The Bible said there is a way that seems right to a man.
Amen. But the end
I'm
thereof
afraid
is
of that word. And at the end is destruction.
Yeah.
That's why I use that word cautiously or unconsciously. What I found out over the years is the reason why people make decisions that destroy their future or plan or their dreams. One of the reasons is the absence of priority. The absence of right priority.
Leslie, yeah.
2, the absence of vision and purpose. Now, if you have a priority, for example, one of my priority, my number one priority, for example, and it is true, is to please God. And it is true, I'm not saying it just for example. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, God comes first, then my family comes second. Then third priority is my ministry.
Okay.
I mean my purpose. So if somebody comes to me now to try to lure me to offend God, because I have him as my number one priority, I will say no. So if I discover that somebody will be a potential bad friend, if I discover, based on the lifestyle he or she lives, what I do is I avoid them, because evil communication corrupt good manner. I know the power of friendship. I know the impact. You see? So if I know that I want to be a doctor, I will discipline myself not to be a smoker. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
I will set it as my priority and build my principles and value around it. So when people don't have vision, they live anyhow. When people don't have right priorities, they become common. They live anyhow. They don't see any worth in life. This is one of the issues. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying.
I get you. So, in other words, you're telling me if at all times these three things you've mentioned, everybody puts it in place, they won't make any wrong decision.
Okay, now
Is that what you're saying,
yes,
Stanley?
yes.
Oh.
Now, calm down. Now,
Yeah, go
for
on.
example, I have a vision of, for example, I have a vision of becoming a pilot.
Okay.
For example. Okay, then number one, I have to learn. I have to study. I have to go to the training. I have to be serious, study, buy books. So if I now begin to mingle with people who don't have the same vision, who have a vision of, who has no vision at all, they are going nowhere. They are going nowhere. They don't have plan, nothing, no purpose, no vision, no dream, nothing. So if I continue to mingle with them, I will sacrifice this my vision at the altar of my lack of priority. And their own waywardness will swallow up my vision. You see, this is a principle of life. You cannot change it. It's a principle of life. If I want to become a pilot and I am in college, I begin to mingle with friends where maybe for example, I'm a girl. I begin to mingle with female, male, mingle, go out, do this, go party, this, all that. That means whether I know it or not, or whether I understand it or not, I'm expecting pregnancy. And the moment it comes, maybe I decide to keep the baby. That vision will delay. Yes or no?
Of
That is
course.
why choice, decision is very important. Decision is choosing your priority over other alternatives. That is what makes people, that is what creates character in people. Now you want to marry, maybe you are single, for example. This is my last comment.
Okay.
For example, you want to marry and you are single and you are searching and you want to be a pastor or you are a pastor and you know that God has called you into ministry. You know that there is a calling upon your life. If you fail, your community will fail, or half of the your community will fail. Now, you come across a man that is rich, he rich, but he is born again, but not very serious with his life. Born again or rich.
Okay, I see
Then,
you.
because of his kind words, you decided to marry him. At the long run, he is ahead. He decides 80% of the things that must be done in the home. So at the long run, the man begin to, due to his unseriousness, begin to backslide little by little. He will carry along little by little, you now begin to lose your calling and your vision. Decision is important. The decision is life. You don't live with the decision, you live with the consequences. That is why it is important. Before you make decision, no matter, study the consequences first. First, before you make the decision. So I stop here. Good night. Thank you for your time.
Good night.
Have a nice
And
day.
I think people have questions for you. I'm so sorry to have.
Yes, so between tomorrow. I'm very busy, but I just decided because you are.
Hey, Stanley, maybe if you give me 2 minutes before you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, you came up.
Sorry. Hello, host. Hello, everyone.
Good evening,
Stanley.
Barry. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Stanley. Very nice submission. I obviously, I'm not faulting what you're saying, but I don't know at what point you are in your life. I don't know how old you are, but obviously because I think that comes into play. You have a point in what you're saying, but it is not foolproof. It doesn't always follow because from what you are saying, if you do this is the answer. But I mean, those who are in the school of life would tell you that it doesn't work that way. I mean, St. Paul said, the good I want to do, I do not. I want to do good, but I do something totally different. Sometimes we think we want to do this, but we do that. We choose this, but it comes out in a different way. I think your argument seems a little bit simplistic, where you're leaning more on your own understanding, and that if you decide, oh, I don't want to, like the example you gave, I want to do this, so I do not mingle with people who are, Westies, people who are not seeing things as I see them, or who do not desire for themselves that same goal. Then if I don't mix with them, then I'm going to achieve my aim. It's a little bit, I think, I don't know, like I said, I keep saying, I don't know how old you are, because when you gain maturity, as you gain maturity, you find out that in the school of life, it's totally different. It's totally different. So, whilst you do everything, to succeed, you have to, trust God, in all your ways and lean not on your own understanding. And also, even after you trust God, like somebody said, that sometimes you know who God is and you trust him, but still things do not come out the way you want them. Are you going to say God does not exist, or he didn't listen to me? These things happen. This is real life, bro. So you have to give room. You have to be mature in your outlook, the way you see life, the way you see things. When you talked about,
people, why do people make wrong decisions? I don't think people just stand up and make wrong decisions. Sometimes they make decisions thinking that that's the best decision at the time they make them, but it doesn't always come out that way, you know. So maybe just I just pray that God grants you the latitude to open up a little bit more and see. It's just like I think Leslie did say that he said Samuel was a good prophet, but he was a bad father. You know, these things happen. This is real life. This is real life. And you see a lot. You see professors whose children are dunces. You know, it doesn't mean that the man didn't take care of his kids. Oh, come on. You would see a lot of things in life, but all we ask for is the grace to be able to, you know, grab and deal with the lot that life has thrown on us. So I'll rest here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barrister. So I was even going to start by saying that Stanley, I hear you, but I needed to expand, you know, your mindset, because it will really do a lot of good. You've said some things quite profound, but at the same time, it's like you countered it in a way. Because say, for example, the example you gave of this person who wants to be a pilot and all of that, he gets to the final year, sits for the exam, and he fails. Have you thought of that? Would you not say he didn't mingle, just like you said? He did not mingle. He was studying hard, overdoing everything. In fact, extra syllabus and all of that, excess lesson after lesson or whatever. And he sits for the final exam and he fails. Would you now say because he didn't mingle or he mingled, is that why he failed? You know, there's certain things that it's not how we see it. And just like Baritone said, life teaches. Some people, they think logical. They are so systematic in the way they think. They see the beginning, even like God will see, and all, and they'll make that good choice. Everybody can even attest to it, but it backfires. I mean, I don't want to sit down and make the wrong choice knowingly. I make the wrong choice, no matter how much things get at you. So you really need to broaden your mind. Maybe it's worked for you, this principle or whatever you just explained to us. Maybe it has worked for you, but the fact that even Baritone is asking, how old are you? I don't know what life has thrown your way. I don't know how much of it you have. I don't know how much of this principle you've given us has helped you as well. But we need to think beyond that, because sometimes there's no perfect person. Know that. Even the ones that is walking and eating with God and all, they will still make mistake. Why would Peter deny Jesus? Does he not know Jesus? Not once, not twice, 3 times. I mean, did he wanted to do that? No. But his mouth could not even just help. And he made that decision to say, I don't know him. And they ask again, he doesn't know. I mean, 3 times over. But look at who Peter, we can read the Bible and know who he is today. We make mistakes, even the perfect one. If you say there's a perfect human, yeah, fine. I tell you, they'll still make mistakes. And there's certain things that if you don't open our mindset to, tendency is we'll make more mistakes. We'll learn from other people, we'll learn from ourselves, we'll learn from our parents, we'll learn from the society, we'll learn from everywhere. And I get you, you want to make the right decisions at all times. What are the chances that every time you make that decision, it's going to be positive all the time, even though it's a positive decision you've made? So I don't know if you understand where we're coming from as well, in as much as we understand where you're coming from. But I still feel you need to broaden your mindset some more.
Okay.
You know,
Now,
I don't know if you're,
okay. You have taken some of my time also, but no problem.
Sorry,
Okay,
apologies.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Now, age has nothing to do with maturity.
We know,
You begin to mature when you set priorities for yourself, when you begin to discipline yourself, when you begin to get the right knowledge and accurate understanding. Age has nothing at all to do, and leadership also had nothing to do with age. Okay, sir. Me, I understand. I really understand what you said. I was there. I've made nasty decisions that when I remember them now, I sometimes I cry. I am telling you, before we are whatever we are today, we have to understand that we are first human.
Oh, yeah.
Human. And humanity will play on everybody. That's why God himself said, I have set before you life, and I set before you death. I have set before you good and bad. He said, choose life, choose good. He said he give you the opportunity to choose. You choose. Because whatever you choose is what you will become. So, after so many years of failure in many areas of my life, I begin to understand that this race is not by strength. I was there. I make so many nasty decisions that is affecting my life till today, till tomorrow. I'm saying from my spirit, I'm not the best, but I'm learning. So what I said, what I've studied over 5 years and discovered, and there is nothing as powerful as discovery. Okay, since the fall of man, everybody failed, and everybody lost the right spirit for right and sound decision. Since the fall of man, we have been struggling with this till tomorrow. So even when Jesus came, we are still struggling with it. That is why we have to go back to the drawing board and learn and learn. Don't just say, I am mature enough, I am 70 years, I am 60, 50. It doesn't matter.
No.
We go back to the drawing board and begin to learn the principles, how things work, how life work, how life was created to work. Everything God created was created, everything in an environment.
Flowers, I see.
To work in an environment. Everything God created was created to work in a specific environment. So if you now neglect all those principles and begin to establish your own principles and philosophy, you will fail. I found out. I knew who I have served under senator. I know what I'm talking about. Only that I don't have time. I could have said more. I have more things to say concerning decision making. I know many people could not finish their education because of the wrong decision they made.
Of course.
You yourself, you know the reason why you made the wrong decision you made 5 years ago. You know. Because the consequences are playing on you. You can remember it now because it's like a dream. So that is how life is. So the best thing is come to yourself. Where did I miss it? This is what I did. What have I not done well? Where am I missing it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
We don't ask. We don't come to ourselves. We don't find out where the mistake is coming from. We continue to run. That's one of the areas we continue to fail. But if you have time on Saturday, I will be available so we can talk more. Thank you. Good night, sir. Good night.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. That portion of the Bible, I mean, we all know Apostle Paul, he after he, what's the word now? After he became a Christian, well, he was a Christian, but he was doing his thing. I just want to read Romans 7:19. And this is a proof that even the best of all men will still make wrong decisions. It says, for I do not do the things, or I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. So sometimes the flesh really is weak, and that it doesn't mean God is not there with this person, but just that as human that we are not God. We are not God. We're children of God. We're striving to be best, to be better than whoever or better than our yesterday, so to say. But it doesn't mean because God is in my life, I will never make mistakes. As I'm sitting here, I can't begin to count number of mistakes I've made in my own life, let alone. And it's part of this person sitting in front of you lot as well. Was I proud certain mistakes? Of course not. But was I glad? Yeah, in a way, because it's taught me and it's brought some level of maturity. It's brought wisdom. It's brought a lot of things that if I had not made those mistakes or wrong decisions, I don't think I would have that wealth of experience. From teenage years, from 20s, 30s, 40s, now entering into 50s, one will keep making the good choices, bad choices. Doesn't mean God is not there. God is always going to be there. Some things God will even ask you specifically to do, and you will do. You find out that, why did God direct you this way? There's a reason why. Everything works together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. And I believe that strongly. So I'm always like, when I see my mistake, boy, I want to write what God is teaching me in that mistake or in that wrong decision, because there's always something to learn, and you will grow and you will gain wisdom, you will gain all sorts. But if you're playing safe, you don't want to make that decision, you don't want to, where does you just be hearing people's story and you're not experiencing nothing? There's only so much people's story can affect you other than your personal experience of wrong decision making, right decision making. And that's why I'm able to even sit here and talk about certain things and even share my own personal journey, some of it as well. There is no how. Even if you're a professor, you always get it on point. Ask that professor whether he's never made any mistake in his life. He will tell you 1,000,001 mistakes is made to getting him to that place of professorship or whatever it is. Lola, I see you. So may we continue to gain wisdom, and that's why we're here talking about these things. Decision making, it's very important. Some people at a very young age, they have to make tough decisions. They don't have guidance, they don't have nobody, and sometimes they make that decision and they're all the better for it. And sometimes they make the decision, small tiny decision like this, and it just destroys their life altogether. You never can tell these things, but all in all, know that let God still guide you regardless. Let God direct you regardless. We all have principles that works for us. We have principles that helps, sometimes. But really, does it help 100% all the time? So God will help us, God will continue to help us. That's all I can say. I don't know if anybody wants to say. Barrison, I know you came to ask Stanley. I don't know if there's any other thing you want to share with us as well, because we're going to be rounding up. And let me put my puzzle for today. There's a puzzle. This one is not tongue twister. So you people, let me not be making us bite ourselves before we go to sleep. I'm always a gentleman, especially when elders are talking. You, gentleman, Debbie. I don't
Let me
understand.
laugh today.
The Vinca Hub, I see you. So, you want to say something, Leslie?
I don't understand. What
Yeah.
what do you mean you gentle?
Abi, who is saying they're gentle?
I am gentle.
Oh, okay, it's baritone. Oh, I thought it was you that wrote that. I was like, especially
No,
when elders are talking, I hear.
I am very gentle.
No. What she said is a response to a conversation that has been
Oh, okay,
ongoing.
because
So
I was wondering, because you gentle. Oh, you gentle today.
she
Okay.
not gentle today, so all of a sudden she not gentle all through.
They mind her. So that's my puzzle for today. Thank you all so much for your contribution. Thank you. Sorry, Baritone, I don't know if you want to say something before we round off. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear.
No, I sorry I missed most of what was happening, but it's all right. But I mean, the few up ahead, people always, honestly, people that come, the panelists that come on here, they're always very resourceful. So even when I come in late, I stay on the FYP, and then I come down here. I listen. I listen. Got listen to Leslie and Kenneth and Debbie and Sean. I mean, it's always beautiful listening to you guys from out there, because obviously you see a cornucopia of ideas coming together, and I believe it's blessing so many people that are listening, even on the FYP. So well done. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So that is my puzzle. Let's see, it's gone up. Why did God create woman after man? That is my question. So let's scratch our head, and please, I need answer today for this one.
Oh, so we're not saying this one. We're not saying this one.
You will say the answer to this one.
Okay.
People will say you're biting yourself, it's too late, you're tired, all sorts. So this one, just tell me the answer. That's it. Where's my note?
I just want to round up on that guy. I hear what he's saying, and I get where he's coming from, but I think what he is. I think he didn't really get the full conversation, and I get what he was saying about principles. I did mention that about principles. There are certain principles you are going to get or gain, but even those principles, a lot of them come from
Debbie, what do you mean by to keep him company? What do you mean by that?
I think that the answer she's giving for the puzzle.
Oh,
so that's what I'll just say.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
thank you.
I'll just say that for that Brother Stanley. I just think it's just for him to understand that the idea that you can do all the right things. I have a brother. I have a younger brother. He had the same idea, and I remember he would be quite proud that, I've never done this before I got married and everything. And I would tell him, look, just be humble. Yeah, you haven't done all those things, praise God. But don't make it like it's just your strength alone. It's God. And he would be so arrogant about it. And he got married and everything. And then a few years later, he met someone that was a friend of his years ago when we were much younger. And before he knew it, he committed adultery. And I remember telling him that you've got to be humble. Don't get to this point where you think you've done everything right and you deserve all these things and everything's going well for you. Because in a split second, everything can just... And he would be, no, I've come... And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. I wanted to share with Stanley that you can do all the things. And at some point, it could become self-righteousness.
Yeah.
You could start thinking it's what you do.
Yeah.
And you forget it's the grace of God as well.
Not by works of righteousness. It's not by works of righteousness.
It's still the grace of God. Don't just think it's just you. I did this, I did all of these things. And then, at some point, it becomes you. Then where's God in all of that stuff? So that's I just wanted to bring that to his attention. But I'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Les. Sorry, host. Sorry, host. What Leslie was saying just reminded me. I was just listening to Emmanuel Iren, and he did say, that sometimes we pray to God and asking for direction, asking, that God does not come out to say, turn right, turn left. You now pray and then you take responsible decisions and you think you're the one doing it.
Yeah.
But God is directing you. And at some point, you start thinking, oh, I did it all by myself. I did. And then pride comes in before you know it. And what you said, Leslie, just reminded me of it. And it's so true that sometimes you pray, it seems that it's so silent. God is not answering. He doesn't say anything. And then you start taking some decisions where you think are cautious and they're responsible. And you think, now your tenacity or waiting.
Now your own doing.
You don't say, they don't arrange you. God don't arrange things, keep for you, finish for your head. and then you start executing. You don't know the Holy Spirit of God is walking through you, and then at some point you claim the glory. So it's just something to be careful of. Anyway,
Thank you for that.
thank you, Leslie. Thanks, Leslie.
To add to that, Barrington, I don't know whether it was a message or a sermon I heard recently, or probably it was even on here. So let this mind be in you that is in Christ. And if you're in Christ, you have the mindset of Christ. So sometimes you don't necessarily need to pray certain things. That idea is there, or whatever decision is just like it's in there, and you open your mouth and the right thing comes out, or the right decision is made, so to say. So it depends really on your level of spirituality, so to say, connection with Christ as well, with God himself. Because sometimes you find out that after all said and done, you know that this thing has nothing to do with you. Where the idea came from to decide this particular thing, you cannot explain it. Then you will know that it's grace. And I see grace. The grace of God just joined us. The grace of God. Hey, not by works of righteousness, so not by your own doing. Hey, this thing it could be dangerous, because one thing God detests, pride. And then not acknowledging him or giving him the glory. You don't want to see the other side of non-grace life, if there's anything so called. If he withdraws grace from us, honestly, you might as well just say, take me, Father. Take me, because I can't survive. Not by our works of righteousness are we, being saved or being making the right decisions. No, it's only bought by the grace of God. Only that, I believe strongly. Let him withdraw grace, and you see, you find yourself on another planet, so to say. Gani Ario, I see you. Good evening. I hope you're good. So please, he said, because man comes after woman. If you like, put hyphen, put exclamation. No, Debbie, no. Oh, definitely. If God withdraws his breath, we will wither. In fact, we'll turn back to that dust we came from. Temi Ventures, I see you. So please, let's do this. Let's think, but don't overthink. That's where this kind of puzzle is a puzzle. It's a puzzle. Do not overthink. Why did God create woman after man? I should give you a clue. Man, woman, God. That's the clue. There's a reason why. Very simple reason. That's why I said don't overthink it. By the time you start overthinking, all these mathematics will start going on in your head. Why did God create a woman after man? We have 5 minutes to try and answer this. Oh yeah, now Kenneth, Debbie, Leslie, Baritone, Shan. At least this one you don't have to bite yourself tonight.
I think it's because God said man cannot live alone. I will making a help meet. I don't know if I'm correct too, because I think in Genesis.
When I laugh, you're not.
Is it Genesis 2 that's
whether you like quote Revelations, sir?
Yeah.
No.
I think that is the reason why God said this man cannot live alone. Make him help meet for man to assist man.
Okay. Let me give you a clue. I don't know this clue is as good as me telling all of you what the answer is. Man, woman, characteristics of a man, some, and of a woman. It has to do. The answer lies in the characteristics of a woman. That's all I can say. I've given it out anyways. So
is it woe unto man?
Huh?
The attempt, the harbor.
Please put that mic on mute. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. As in man, whoa. I've just given us a clue. It has nothing to even do with the man. I said the characteristics, one of the many characteristics, don't let me back myself, of a woman. Why did God create woman after man? There's a reason why. Because something. Because I didn't hear that. Who's talking?
Because he take the rib from the man.
No.
Elder Kenneth, you there pulpit.
You see what I'm saying? You people are overthinking it because it needs caretaker, not only caretaker. Now breadwinner. No, no. This thing, women do it a lot, and is in church. Yeah, okay, maybe it's in church. Women do this a lot. Please, please, please think well before you open your mouth to say anything.
Man needed a manager.
You say what?
Marino.
No, you might actually be. What did you say? No, seriously. What's your answer? Baritone, you said something. He's
What
scared
to
now.
do?
I can't hear you. You're just laughing. You might just be right. Who knows? His manager. Who's manager? You've forgotten what you just said. I can't rewind this thing now. Anyway, we'll still try. Why did God create woman after man? You've forgotten. Just say it. I said you might actually be right. Oh my.
Leslie has said it now.
His manager. Who's manager? You have to explain it. What do you mean by that?
Maybe man needed a manager now.
Oh, no. That's not it. Manager, call. To be his companion. That's the obvious thing, but it's not the answer. No.
Which companion? Companion.
Why did God? I told you it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle and we're overthinking it. Dorothy D, I see you. Why did God create woman after man? There's a reason why. And the answer lies in the characteristics of a woman. That's how best I can give us a clue.
Is it a play on words? Is it a play on words at all?
Come see, come ça. I don't know. No. Yes, no. I don't know.
Debbie, you're very silent. You're not saying
He's
anything.
thinking about it. Elder Kenneth, thank you for the attempt, but no thanks. Because beautiful. Why did God create woman after man? Leslie, unmute your mic. You're in the box. You people give up to have compassion on him. No, Debbie. Nah. Nah. Guess what? He already had compassion because all those animals he had to name, none of them ate him. So there was compassion already before the woman came. To nurture, nah. Shan, try, keep trying, but nah. Okay. I'm going to do countdown now so that, because I don't want to bring this back. We're doing it. I think I'll stick with my tongue twister because by now 3 or 4 people.
Okay, hold on. Is it? Is it because he was trying to avoid Tatafo?
No, I even thought you wanted to say something.
He didn't want anybody. He didn't want anybody giving him instruction on how to create Adam.
Exactly. You see, well done. Wow.
Tatafo now. Tatafo.
No, not Tatafo. Tatafo is
okay. ITK.
At least that's the answer because he didn't want any advice on how to make him. So done. You see, that's why I said you people are overthinking it. Thank you. Because women will give you advice. So I tell you, they will advise you on whatever to do. In fact, how the mouth will be, the leg will be, and all of that. And God is like, no, no, no.
Say Daddy, this Adam you want to create. So if it's me, or I would
This is
say
how I will do it. So something like that. So well done, Louis. Okay. Debbie, you have any comments, Debbie?
I knew we'd get there. So I knew with all these firing words, fiery statement, I knew we'd get there.
I know by the
You
time we
see?
use all the words, we will get the answer.
And exactly.
Yo, Elder Kenneth, you surrender.
It doesn't matter who wins. A win is a win.
So all of you are ganging up on me now, Abby.
No.
you're happy.
Exactly. So all of you together in the box now, you put heads together to fight me now. Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
It's not like that. It's not like that. It's just that whoever wins is still our win.
Oh, okay. It's all our win. Plus the host even is all our win.
Well,
the fact that
maybe plus the host.
Yes, the fact that somebody even you people are good. At least you were coming in, going. I'm like, no, really. Where is the manager? I'm like, you have to explain. What do you mean? So I thought you wanted to say he manages God to make him, or would. I'm like, no, that explanation did not cut it.
I was about typing decision, but I was like, I wasn't explaining it. I said I was typing decision, but I didn't have full explanation like baritone. But I was like, okay.
Oh, and so why did the thought come to your mind? Decision about what?
That's the thing. I was like, okay, I don't know we make decision.
You just want to be playing with words.
I know, but then
you get
it.
You're funny, Thank you. Well, it's been a lovely, lovely Monday. Oh, look at me saying we'll finish 10:30, but it is well. It's worth it. Thank you all so much for your contributions. Decision making. Now I'm deciding. I have to make this decision. We all need to go to bed and sleep. So for some people, maybe work is just even starting. Who knows? But I wish us well. Thank you all so much for tapping. 8:13. I hope he's still there. Oh my goodness. Okay, I can't see him. But 8:13, thank you. Shan, thank you. Baritone, thank you. Leslie, Kenneth, Debbie, who else came on? Stanley, if you're still listening on the FY, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me see, 1 or 2 people have been there. Fidelism, I see you. Andrew Taylor, I see you've been there a while. Bridget, oh my goodness, you stayed this far. I've been trying to invite you, but thank you so much for being part of this community. Thank you so much. Guys, as we go, whatever decision we're making, please, if you're not sure, pause. Remember, we talked about it. Pause, evaluate, redirect yourself, or, God helping us. Above all, pray about it. Let God guide you. It doesn't mean we will not make mistakes. It doesn't mean God has not spoken. It doesn't mean God has abandoned you. Even through the ugly, the down, the ups and all of that, God is still there as long as you trust him. Because even when you make that wrong decision, you need some sort of comfort. And he's given us the Holy Spirit to do that with us as well. So do not beat yourself about things, but learn from your mistakes. Get understanding, get knowledge, get wisdom, such that next decision is still coming. You have to make another decision soon. So you're well equipped, and don't allow your emotions, like I said in my talk, don't let only emotions be the determining factor for your decision making. Let emotion and wisdom come together so that, and I mean, aside God leading us, sometimes you have to make the decision. God will look at you. He will not say yes, he will not say no. But say, if the mind of Christ is in you, you will make the right decision. God will continue to help us all. So on that note, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Thank you so much for helping build this community. Please, let's always share, follow one another. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know all these messages. I mean, I don't even understand it as well. But we're rounding off now, so anything can happen, but it's okay. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful week. The last week in the month of November 2025. My goodness. Hey, very soon we'll be saying Merry Christmas, but it's all good. Thank God for life. And as we go, let's decide to look after ourselves. Self-care, very important. Always acknowledge God, pray to God for wisdom, for guidance, and all of that. Above all, ask for His grace. His grace, so it says, more than sufficient for us. So we need that. Good night, everybody. See you on Thursday by the grace of God. Have a lovely night rest. Good night. Thank you.
New day, bring understanding and love.
Are we still tapping? Let's take it to 120. 120. We always do this. 120K. Come on, people. Let's do this. Let's do this. The 5 of us are how many of us? I don't know if I can top the thing. It's going to bring people. 120. We can do it. Oh. Let me join in this time. They say I should be tapping my screen, but this is well. Come on, people. We can do it. Let me encourage us. Come on, let's tap. Well done. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I can see names of people typing. I mean, tapping. Debbie, I can see your name. Let me see who else. Yes, let's take it. We're nearly there. Come on, people. Come on. Thank you. Yay. Have a lovely night rest. God bless you.